hope you can hear me okay. Let me know if the sound is all good. I am.
Hello.
Hi, you want to do a social experiment?
For sure.
What's your name?
My name's Hugo.
I'm
Nice
Chip.
to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Hello.
So the social experiment purpose is to test the relationship that we have with animals.
Okay.
Do you have a pet companion or
I love dogs.
you love dogs?
I would like to have a dog, but I can't, unfortunately.
What is it that you love about dogs? Can you come a little
Yeah,
bit
for
closer
sure.
so that you're in view?
Actually, I always loved dogs. Mainly my grandfather had one, and
Yeah.
it was very symbolic. And then he died. And actually, I didn't found out back then, but later on in life,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I found
about
out that I love dogs.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so I'll turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Animal abuse, it shouldn't.
Why not?
Actually, if you see it in a way that you shouldn't hurt people, like men in general, like men and women, why should you like abuse their pets?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because
I
they're
mean,
very
there's
much like us, right?
There's no reason why you should harm them. Actually, if you look at it in a rational way, it doesn't make sense. First of all, why?
But if you have a reason, does that make it okay, abusing them?
Still not.
Okay.
I mean, they help us on a daily basis. Some people struggle in a mental way. They have animals to help them to recover the day. There are other people, they are blind. They get a dog to help them navigate through
Yeah.
the city. So I think it's not a reason to harm them.
Okay. How would you define abuse?
Abuse can be verbally, it can be also by touching them
Yeah.
in the wrong way. Like there are many ways to abuse an animal. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs? What
Yeah, it's
about
wrong, yeah.
cows, chickens, pigs?
I mean, it's the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Like, I mean, if you take, for example, a chicken,
Yeah.
it depends. If you're like consuming organic chickens, for sure, you're gonna harm them less indirectly, because you're gonna eat something with more quality, and by doing that, you're also like,
But you're
not
still
harming
harming
the other
them.
ones.
Even if you're harming them less, you're still harming them, right? Because you have to take them.
yeah, in that way, yeah, but like less than if you would take a non-organic chicken.
Yeah, but let's say, do you think it's ethical to harm animals for something that we don't need?
Not necessarily.
No. So then, so yeah, please go come in. Yeah.
The girlfriend is stepping in.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead, tell me.
I agree. Like I was a vegetarian for 4 years,
Yeah.
and I have 2 dogs now, and I had another dog before.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. The thing that I switched, it really depends. I think I agree that humans don't necessarily need meat. I
Yeah.
completely agree with that.
No animal products, really, not just meat.
No animal products.
Yeah.
But it does affect singularity as well. Okay, so
What do you
like if
mean?
we're looking at a whole population, the reason why I had to switch to meat again, it was because of iron, was because of health issues. Women specifically, because of their period, amounts of hormones, amount of blood loss. There are some kind of supplements that you can get for that, but it's harder. I do not support
But the-
meat trade or whatever or animal violence.
I'm
do-
sorry,
yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you there.
go
I
for it.
understand your perspective, but let me ask you this: do you think if you couldn't find the requirements, micronutrients that you need from the meat,
Mm-hmm.
would you go further and kill dogs or humans to get other micronutrients that you need?
Absolutely not. I think
So you would
I
still
would-
try to find a supplement, and right?
exactly. Keep
Yeah.
going for that.
Yeah.
The problem is that each human, if you divide it between susceptible
Yeah.
in population and then the singular human, okay?
Yeah.
If they have specific necessities, it's not something that you can necessarily take away from them. There might be the economic value, the economic aspect. You need specific supplements for that. Can we know? You need specific supplements for that. You can
Yeah.
get a hold of that, you know?
Yeah.
So it really depends on the single person to me. It's just
But,
not.
but let me just. The reason why I ask you this is because you see, when it comes to like other beings, like dogs, like
Mm-hmm.
humans, we don't see it as even if we need something that their meat would give us. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
we don't see it as acceptable to kill them and eat them. Whereas with cows, chickens, pigs, we somehow see it as acceptable. You
Of
see what I
course.
mean? So there is a discrimination happening there, right?
There's biases, there's a lot of
Yeah,
biases, but
mainly.
we're talking about here because if you were to move somewhere else, in another place, in another country, is the complete opposite, you know?
Yeah, but aside from what society is doing, and I'm sorry for interrupting you there, what I'm interested in, because based on your views, and I assume based on your views, harming animals, dogs, cats would be wrong, and I assume, as you said, cows, chickens, pigs would also
Yeah.
be wrong. So then, why is it that you wouldn't switch to dogs, but you can switch to cows? You see, like there is a bias there that you think it's acceptable, but
Yeah.
should it be acceptable?
I mean, personally, I rarely eat, for example, red meat or stuff like that, but I do not think, at
sometimes.
least, yeah.
Sometimes still
Yeah,
means one innocent animal gets
Yeah,
killed,
yeah,
right?
yeah, of course, absolutely. But I think at least a hold of animal products, such as eggs, cheese, if it's not too processed, it should be fine. I do not, in Italy, we have this thing called intensive farming,
Yeah, yeah, it's
agriculture.
everywhere, it's everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go to the supermarket to get your meat or to get your eggs.
Yeah.
If you do have a supplier of raw material whatsoever, it's better to go there instead of course, the supermarkets. That I agree with.
But let me ask you this because do you know, just to put things into perspective, do you know anything about the dairy industry, the industry that produces milk?
Yeah. That's
so
why I was
what do you
vegetarian.
know about it?
I mean, like in Italy, for example, the intensive.
Not intensive. Let's talk about a normal small farm.
That's
it-
that's for us what a small farm looks like.
Yeah.
They have cows completely lined up. They're abused.
Yeah.
They're abused. I'm not supporting
But do
that.
you know how they're abused? Like, I'm just about the procedure for cows to get milk for cheese. Because you said cheese is okay, but I want to explain to you why it is that that's maybe not according to your
No,
own
no,
values.
I'm not saying that it's okay. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I completely agree with
Yeah.
you. I completely agree with you on this. I'm saying, like what I'm trying to portray is that the access to those products should be guaranteed still. Because I don't know, if you take a child, a small child, you can't really give him a vegan diet. And
You can.
him growing up
There's
with
there's
this,
a scientific consensus. There's plenty of studies showing that the plant-based diet is suitable for all ages and stages of life, and including
Yeah.
the largest nutritional organizations on the planet say the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But like, let me put it this way. So in the dairy industry, the reason why cows produce milk is because they have to have a baby. They're mammals. They're like us, right?
Of course,
You
yeah.
don't just produce milk unless you're pregnant, right? So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody puts their hands in their anus, hold their cervix, and injects with semen.
Yeah.
I have seen it these days. They have this machine where they put some sperm in on the machine like a dildo, and they insert it in their vagina, which is still fucked up if you think about it. Like, who
Yeah,
would
that's
do-
abuse. I agree
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
abuse, right? So after 9 months, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
They take the babies away.
Exactly. Oh, so you know, they take
I
the
know,
babies
I know,
away.
I
Yeah.
know.
She's quite informed about
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
subject.
I know
Yeah,
this
so
thing.
way
I'm
more
not
than me.
saying I do not support this. I do not support farms or anything. Okay.
But you don't support it verbally, but you realize that when you buy animal products, you do support it, right?
Absolutely. The thing is that I cannot neglect it for myself. I have
I understand
health issues.
what your
The
issue,
thing
what,
is
what you're
that-
saying is that your health comes first, and I understand that it's
Yes,
perfectly normal.
yes.
But do you think that if I were to provide you with resources that would help you, even for your health, do you think that it's an obligation for you to stop oppressing these animals?
If there are resources that can make up for the lack, of
Yeah.
course, yes. I
Yeah.
will stop again. Like
Yeah.
I did it once. It's not a problem to do it twice.
Yeah, but-
The thing is that it's hard. It's like supplements.
As
You
soon
can't.
as it affects the health of somebody, for example, in her case, she was in lack of a lot of
Iron.
iron.
It was
nutritious-
everything. It's.
But iron,
The
it's
thing is
anyway
that-
better to, like, even if you go to a doctor and they have like an iron deficiency, they're not gonna tell you eat more red meat. They're gonna tell you to take more, to take an iron supplement,
But I
right?
think
Yeah,
you were
for-
taking
yeah,
a
of
supplement
course.
at that moment.
I was
It was
taking
not enough,
supplements.
though.
The thing is, it wasn't the iron was not the only lack. I'm not
You
gonna.
can supplement anything else, right?
You
Like,
can
don't
supplement
need-
everything else. The problem is that for us, I think, like, it's easier. I don't know where you live right now. Are you in the Netherlands?
I live in the Netherlands.
You live
yeah.
in the Netherlands. Where you
Yeah.
grew up? Because you have a really
Romania.
strong. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Romania. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But
Yeah.
I think that it's easier for us to say it rather than go to, for example, third world countries and tell them, okay, you
Oh yeah,
cannot kill
I'm not
this.
discussing that there's not places on this world
You're
where it's
discussing
difficult.
farms. You're discussing strictly
I'm
farms.
I'm also discussing specifically you two, right? Because you two stopped.
Okay, yeah.
So you two, you seem to live in a
Only
country.
her, I didn't stop.
So
Like,
you didn't stop. Where are you from, by the way? Where
I'm
you
from
live?
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Okay, so Luxembourg, Italy. These are countries where you have readily available access to all sorts of plant-based products, and I don't just mean plant-based meats or cheeses. I literally mean pasta, rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas, vegetables, all
Everything,
around, right?
everything.
Everything. So in a sense, you can make it work. Let's say, provided you understand nutrition and you can understand how to make it work. But the one thing that I want to understand is, why do you think it's acceptable? Because again, in a situation where there would be no cows or chickens or pigs to exploit or to slaughter, you said you wouldn't go to dogs, cats, or humans. So why is it that you think it's acceptable to go to cows, chickens, and pigs?
Because it's all a mindset, and it's all like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, stuck in here, and I'm completely aware of it.
Yeah.
I could never kill an animal. I could never think about it, okay? I could never hurt anything. But in the same time, for me, of course, it's easier to go to the
Because society
butcher,
does
for
it.
example.
Everybody
exactly,
does it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it is stuck in our mindset.
Yeah.
We grew up with it. I don't know if you're familiar with the Mediterranean diet.
I know, I'm familiar with
Okay, the thing is that it has such a high variety, and it's super balanced. And if you grow up with that, it's hard to then switch to something, because in Italy,
I understand.
there's not that much access to plant-based things, you know.
Oh,
yes,
well-
there's lentils, there's chickpeas, and
Pasta,
whatever.
rice, beans, yeah,
exactly,
there's plenty of
everything,
it.
absolutely. Once you grow up eating, for example, chicken that once a week or twice a week, I think your organism also get used to it.
Yeah.
And it's
so,
hard
so
to-
listen, by the way, I'm sorry for interrupting you there. I feel like I'm getting the sensation from you that you're trying to justify your actions, and that's I understand where you're coming from, because I used to be in your same place too, right? What I want to get from you is a little bit more connection from with the animals,
Okay.
right? Because at the same time, yes, our diet can vary it, right? Like, we can have a good diet by eating animal products, and we can have a bad diet by eating animal products. We have a good diet by being vegan, a bad diet by being vegan, right? But being vegan isn't about the diet. Being vegan is about telling that, not thinking that animals are here for us to use, right? It's a mentality where we say no animals should be abused or exploited for meat, and that goes for food, for clothing, for entertainment,
I
anything,
completely
right?
agree with that.
Yeah, and you completely agree, but at the same time, when you, even if society does it, even if everybody does it, when you go and participate in it, you say you agree with it, but then you, at the same time, you participate in it, and you see what I mean.
Absolutely,
It's
yes.
against the same mentality, so you're kind of
Absolutely,
going
yes.
against your own mentality.
Yeah.
And like, there were times in our history, like women's rights weren't a thing until, I don't know, 100 years. Slavery was a big thing until like 200 years. It still is in some places. So even if everybody does it, it still doesn't make those things right. Like, even that doesn't make taking women's rights away right. It doesn't make taking people's rights away based on their color of their skin or whatever, right? Like slavery. So then why would it be all right to take the animals' rights? Okay, like, it's not right, according to you, right? So
It's not right.
yeah.
It's not right. I agree with you. I agree with you. The fact that I eat meat or animal products mainly
Yeah.
is something that I, following my mentality, I need, because if I were not to do that, I don't have the fight. It's not
But
a
I'm
justification.
studying to be a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
certified nutritionist, and you don't need any of it. I'm just telling you.
Absolutely. I study
You're fully-
sciences as
yeah,
well. I
you're-
study sciences as well.
Yeah.
I know how it works. I know how
Yeah.
it works. And I agree that humans do not necessarily need meat, okay?
Yeah.
I agree with that. The fact is that if I, as a person, see that I'm not doing well by not eating meat or like animal products or whatever, I'm gonna take action on that. It's not the difference.
But taking action doesn't necessarily imply, again, like, because again, the mentality that we can take action on innocent beings, like whether that's cats, dogs, cows, chickens, humans.
Yeah.
Like, why should they pay for me not being able to maintain a proper diet, right?
That's okay. Would you agree on a small farm that you have in your city, close to your city, for example, having chickens? The
I
chickens
don't
give
believe
you
in
eggs?
slavery, so farming is slavery, right? Like, would you farm humans? No. Would we farm cats or dogs? No. So why would I farm any other animal? It's
I'm
still
not- I'm not
slavery
talking-
and exploitation.
Of course. I'm not talking about farming, okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking having an open space. You have the chickens live there. They give you eggs. You don't
But
even necessarily kill them
How
for the
many
meat.
eggs do you think a normal chicken who wouldn't be in pain, let's say, would give per year?
Per year? I don't know.
12.
12 eggs per year?
Yeah, that's what a wild chicken should give per year. The chickens that we use in farming are chickens that have been selectively bred to lay an egg every day. And you talk about period. I'll give you a card, but you talk about period. But imagine the chicken laying an egg is like having their period.
Of course.
And doing that every day is very tolling on their body. They
Of
lose
course.
nutrients, and a lot of the times in sanctuaries, what they do is they take the egg, they smash it on the floor, and chickens come and eat it back because they need it, because they've
Yeah.
just been. For all accounts and purposes, you can call it genetically modified because we selectively bred them to lay so many eggs, and it's really bad for them. And all anyway, when you talk about chickens, nobody talks about the male chickens. Yet there should be at least the same amount of male chickens. So the male chickens, when the female that lay eggs chickens are born, there's a 50-50 chance that male chickens are born. So for every female chicken, there's a male chicken. And
Okay.
all those male chickens that get blended up, they get killed on their first day of life.
Okay.
So all of it is something that regardless you're supporting, right?
Okay.
So that's what I mean. But like, let me give you a card and, you know,
It was
you,
very great debating with you, but we have to go. A friend of mine is.
I hope you didn't see it as a debate because I didn't want to debate you. I just wanted to
No, but
get you a little
I
bit
mean
to.
by that
It's an
exchanging point of
explanation.
view.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
explanation. I agree with that.
So what you
What's,
have over here, you have if you scan this code or go on this website and type in this code, you have see Dominion and the most important speech level here. But if you, I think you may need to switch it to English.
Are you a YouTuber?
Yeah. I'm live on my YouTube
Why
right
is
now.
that YouTube or Insta?
YouTube, and you have my social media details here. One thing is you have personalized help. Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes for 22 days. They have you go
Okay,
vegan.
okay.
And there's even 24/7 coaching for free. All of it is free.
Okay.
And they help you with particular needs that you may
Okay,
have. So,
okay.
and let me just give you one more thing, and then I'll let you go. And this is a map of not all, but some vegan restaurants in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Oh,
The-
that's so cool. Thank you so
Some
much.
of them
So
are
doing
some of the.
Thank you so much.
If I can recommend something, vegan sushi bar, it's
Okay.
delicious. And
It would be very interesting if you also like I don't know if you have a partner or anything or like a friend.
I don't,
But
yeah.
also if you got a woman to speak as well, because like as a personal experience, my problems were hormones and hormone imbalance
Oh, we have-
regarding to that. I think it would be
most
interesting.
vegan
you know?
people are vegan. Most vegan people are women, by the way, because
Exactly,
women
exactly.
have more empathy in general than men,
Okay.
so it happens that.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree
yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Uh,
That was really nice.
Thank you so much.
Don't let it slide. Okay. You look into it, and please. Anytime you'll buy an animal product, one animal gets exploited and slaughtered for you. And let's say even if you think that it is somehow needed, find a way to not need it anymore, or
Yeah.
or at least minimize it to your maximum at first, and then find a way to not need it.
I will.
because-
I will not let it slide. It's
Yeah.
harder. It's not that I just switched from vegetarian
just
to not
seems hard.
vegetarian like that, but
And not vegetarian, by the way, because vegetarians, eggs, milk, they all still exploit animals. And in the card that I gave you, the Dominion and all of this, they explain exactly how and why is it bad for eggs and why is it bad for milk, because it's exactly the same
Yeah,
as
yeah,
meat. It's just we think it's different because it seems different, but it's exactly the same.
okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. It was
What
nice
was your
talking
name,
to
by the
you.
way?
Serena.
Serena, nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to meet
Chip.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Uh,
Hugo.
Hugo, I didn't have a chance to talk to you too much,
I'm
but
sorry.
It's fine.
but
The women talk always well
yeah.
more, so.
dogs, cows, all the same,
Oh.
okay?
Yeah.
Have a good one. Hi, you want to try the social experiment?
Sure.
So I'm doing a social. Just give me a chance. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to see if the sound is okay because I didn't check with the. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Yeah, I'm against it.
Of course.
Oh, it says should be legal.
Yes.
No,
Animal
should
abuse
be.
should be legal.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't.
Oh, it shouldn't be legal.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, why?
Because,
Because-
no animal should suffer.
No animal should suffer.
No
How?
human, no animals.
Is it just about suffering, or is it that?
I mean, the basic thing about every human being and every animal is that they should be respected and cared for.
What if
It's
I
like
can
nature,
abuse them
nature.
without suffering, without them suffering? That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the thing. I just said that you have to treat
Yeah.
them with respect.
Okay, I appreciate
So-
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
you have to treat them with
Without
respect.
the feelings
Okay.
that they feel like behind the torture or
Okay,
whatever.
okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Same.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Do you think that behind animal products,
I think that
like
it's going
cheese,
on the
meat, there
vegan
is,
side, right?
yeah, there is some inherent abuse happening?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
of
it
course.
depends. For instance, I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
And as a Muslim, we think that no animal should be tortured or
I know you
should
have it in the
suffer.
Quran that like,
Exactly.
Yes,
harming
yes.
even an animal when you don't need it is
Yes.
wrong, right?
Exactly. That's
I
why.
think it
and-
says like a sparrow or something.
Yes.
Yeah, or you're
and
going
and
to hell.
you underlined when you don't need it.
Yeah.
So that's the
Very
thing.
important, yeah.
Yes, it's very important because we eat meat as Muslims.
But do we need it?
Do we need it? To be honest, I thought about it like a couple of times, and I think that to a certain extent, you do need it.
But science says otherwise.
Yes,
Probably,
my,
yeah.
my father is a doctor,
Yeah.
and so he said you don't need to eat every day,
Me too.
even every week.
Yeah, because
But I also think that humans are not perfect, and so you have patience.
Yeah.
So we're also following
The crowd.
the what we I mean how do you say
What we've been taught our whole
something-
life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I like something, I will use it, and sometimes you also forget what is behind.
Can I challenge
and,
this one a little bit? So let's say you want to eat meat, right? And your body craves meat, right? We're in this situation, and we're right here. There's a shawarma place, and they're serving dog meat. That's the only meat you find.
yeah, we wouldn't eat it.
No,
You wouldn't
no,
eat it, no.
And
impossible.
So
you're
then-
gonna say what's the difference
Yeah,
between
exactly.
a cow
Thank
and
you. You
between
got it.
Yeah,
You got it. What is
exactly.
it?
To be honest, like I think that there is some kind of basing thing is that from a long period before, like dog and as cats were always treated as domestics,
Yeah.
whereas cows, for example, were always.
But this is from
a
our
source of
perspective.
protein. Yes, it
But
is.
from their perspective, do you think?
No, I understand.
Right,
I
because
completely understand.
because when it comes to victims like animals, like people, we shouldn't consider the side of the people, of the individuals who commit the acts,
Yes.
but rather the side of the victim, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
I
course,
understand.
Of course.
The individuals who suffer.
That's why I
that.
think that to a certain extent, even if you do like meat, even if you're not vegan, you should at least reduce your consumption
Of course.
to
Yeah.
be more mindful of the beasts that are.
Obviously, it's better to reduce it, but like if I were to put another hypothetical out there, a man is beating his wife every day.
Yes.
Reducing it is obviously better,
Yeah.
but they're still beating that wife, right?
understand,
There
yeah.
still is a
Yeah,
victim.
I don't think it's comparable, but
I mean, it is
do-
very much comparable because every time we buy an animal product, one animal gets exploited and slaughtered in ways that, like, let's say, even if you think that it's okay to kill them, you would never send your pet into a slaughterhouse,
Yes.
even if it comes to killing them.
exactly because you said your pet,
Yeah.
because it's a pet.
Yeah, but
And I think that
it's not. But what I'm emphasizing here, it's not the reason why you don't send your pet is because you care about them,
Yes.
and because you know it would be bad for them there.
But I think
So
you-
it would be bad
you-
for all animals
you-
there.
I think that you can care in different ways. You can, as my this is my wife, and I can care about my wife and care about my sister also, but it's not gonna be the same, you know.
No, I understand,
You
but
can
like,
care in different ways.
but you can never care about somebody and kill them for something that is optional to you. You can never say you
Yes.
care. That hell, you cannot even say that you respect them if you kill them for something that is optional to you. If
think-
you exploit them for something that is optional.
It might be harsh, but I think that you can kill them respectfully.
Can you kill her respectfully?
No, because I'm not gonna eat her.
But why not?
Because-
So if I kill her and eat her, would
Yes.
it be respectful for me
No,
to do so?
because it's not a natural thing. And you're gonna say to me, it's not natural to eat meat. I would say otherwise.
No, I don't. It might be natural. I'm just saying, who cares what's natural?
Ah, yes.
Like rape is natural, right?
I don't think it's natural.
Well, it happens in nature, therefore it's natural. Animals rape each other. Animals kill each other.
But it's exceptional.
Animals.
So it's not natural.
No. Listen, lions, for example, when they wanna be on top of the pride, they kill all the babies of that
Yes,
pride.
that's true, that's
Imagine me doing this to my friends, just
Yeah.
killing all their babies to show superiority? We never say that's okay.
No, of
That would
course.
never be respectful,
Because
and it is
in a way,
natural.
we know that we are superior to animals. That's why.
But
that's
I
what
don't think
thi-
we're superior. I just think we decided on what morals are, right? And we said what is right and what is wrong. Animals haven't really decided on that, or we don't know any
I
of
agree
it.
to an extent, but also I disagree because I don't think we are comparable to animals. Like
We
if
are
you take-
animals. What do you mean? We're
If
mammals.
you take like all the philosophers, we're all animals, but we're thinking animals.
All animals are thinking also.
Yes, but to an extent.
I mean, cows are exactly like dogs. You've seen dogs have nightmares, have good dreams, bad
Sure,
dreams.
but to an
They
extent.
think.
Otherwise, dogs would be talking. Otherwise, dog would be.
No, there's humans. There's humans
building
also who
stuff.
cannot talk. What do you mean? It's not talking.
Yes,
is
but
not.
it's not
the
the
only
normal
reason.
thing.
No, the only reason why we can talk is because we have a vocal,
Cords.
vocal cords. Yeah, like if an animal doesn't have that, doesn't mean that they're not. They don't want to express emotions. That they don't want to
Sure,
express.
because you see a lot of
thoughts.
videos when dogs try to communicate and everything,
Exactly.
but they try to communicate. We do have a. I'm not saying we're superior to in every way to animals, but still we're still
Regardless.
superior in because we built a civilization.
But where we started from, and I'm sorry for interrupting you
No
there.
worries,
I
no worries,
understand.
of
I've heard these arguments before. That's why I interrupted you. So, regards, when you started here, you said we should respect all of
Yes.
them, right? And I want to bring it back to that. Do you think we are respecting animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses,
I don't think
especially
so.
given that we don't need to? And
Yeah, that was my question
Yeah.
because I was gonna ask you if you think we are equal to animals, why people are petting them? So your
Also, yeah.
position
It's like
is that
enslaving.
it's
yeah, I
not
should. I don't
needed.
think we should. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think.
yeah.
I think pets are the whole pet industry is just as bad as the whole meat
Yeah,
industry.
yeah,
Actually.
yeah. No.
Unfortunately, we created some animals that do still need to live.
Yes.
So taking them, taking like
Sheltering
rescue
them.
animals and
Yeah.
sheltering them and helping them is a different thing, rather than paying a breeder to breed
I
an
agree.
animal into
Yeah,
existence
yeah,
only
I agree.
only for my pleasure
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I want an animal in my
I do
house,
agree,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
I
a
agree.
difference. So, what do you think about? Because if we don't need any animal products, including cheese, meat, or any of it, do you find it in yourself as its obligation for us to stop exploiting these animals?
To be honest, I didn't say that we didn't need them. To
I know
me-
you didn't say that,
yeah.
but I know that science says that. So you can
Okay,
either go
for-
against science or not.
No, no,
That's
no.
it.
But again, science has its limits also, and I think that's
Not with
you,
this.
You can.
But this is established science for 50 years almost.
Yeah, sure. But
Like
I
it's been
think
study after study after 4 years after 4 years
Sure.
after 4 years. It's just been shown every time that it is just as possible. It's just as possible to
I
build
think that you
muscle
can
and
have
everything.
you can change your habits and switching from different protein-based products.
Yeah.
Where I mean, from meat to different protein-based.
Yeah, like
products.
tofu, tempeh,
Yes,
yeah, like
sure.
chickpeas, lentils.
But
all of
also,
it.
I think that's in a way, even if you don't need it, you can have some, and
In a certain limit,
still,
you mean?
yeah, like
But when you have some, even if you have one,
Yeah.
one animal dies for you. How are you respecting them?
to be honest, for me,
Depend the
It's-
position
it's-
of the person.
no,
I
no,
mean,
yeah. To be honest, like for me, I'm gonna say that if I follow all the steps so that the animal is not gonna suffer, and I know
What
that
do you
I'm
mean
gonna
they're
kill
not
him.
gonna suffer? You're killing them.
Yeah, you can kill them, but without suffering.
So is killing not wrong?
To me, no.
Are you sure? So
Yeah,
if
I'm
I
sure.
go around killing animals and I sedate them and I kill them, would that be okay?
If you
Let me
would
put
eat
it this
them,
way. No, not if I eat them. Like,
no, I'm telling you, if you eat them.
but why does it matter if I eat them? Because it's all.
To me, it matters.
But
That's the difference between you and me.
But it's not about you and me, because to you say to you eating is okay only
Yes.
because you can continue doing it. You only say it's okay because you can justify continuing doing it. But if I put to you this hypothetical where I'm taking a dog every day,
Yes.
I'm sedating them before, right? I'm giving them a sedative, and then
Yeah.
I punch them to death.
No,
They don't
think it's
suffer.
okay.
They don't
it's not
suffer.
respectful. You said.
But how is it any more disrespectful than you killing them for food?
Because
both are optional,
it's
and both I'm
different.
getting
If
both
you-
I'm
if you-
getting something from it.
I mean, from
You
my
say you get
perspective,
nutrition, I get to sport. You can get nutrition from plants, I can get sport from a punching bag.
no,
I don't need to
I
do
think
this to an
the,
animal.
the wrong side and the wrong arguments to me. This is just my personal opinion. For vegans, is that not everything is the same, and you can't. Compare
You mean not everybody is
everything.
the same?
No. Yes, and also.
But this isn't about vegans.
No,
This is about
I'm
science.
talking about your example.
Yeah.
Like punching a dog to death, even if you sedate.
What's the difference?
Respect?
Because
Because
why is
punching
it?
it-
Do you
punching-
think to a dog it matters that you eat them
Yes.
afterwards, or that you punch them to get?
Yes. I think it matters
How?
because in nature, I think it matters because some
Not
animals.
in nature, to them.
Yeah, to them, but I mean.
How does it matter to them?
to
If
them.
like if somebody kills you, do you care what they do with your body afterwards?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It's called respect. It's called.
how
Our
would you
body
even
is
know
sacred.
it? How would you even know? Because you're dead.
Still, I mean, the people around me is going.
Come on, you know it's wrong to kill somebody.
It
you
is.
know it's wrong to do it. And at the beginning you said
but
regardless
you're
of the
talking
reason.
to me about somebody, and I'm talking to you about animals.
Animals are somebody. They have a
To
personality.
me,
they have a
to me,
subjective
they're not
experience.
somebody.
But it doesn't matter what they are to you.
Yeah, but
What
it
matters
doesn't
what the
matter what
scientific
the-
consensus is.
And what they say? What did they say?
They're sentient. They're somebody because they're sentient. There's a person behind those eyes.
To me, no, they're not a person. They can have.
Have you ever
they
seen
can
a
be
dog?
really, really, really similar to human, but they're not going to be human.
I'm
That's
not
the
saying
difference
they're
between
human,
you and me.
but I'm not saying they're
you're saying
human.
they're a person.
You and me are different.
Yes, but a person cannot be animal. An
What-
animal
how
cannot
would
be
you
a
define
person.
a person?
A person is a living human being.
What if they're not human? What if you find out that she's not human? Her DNA
then
is
she's
just
not a person?
then she's not a person
Yes.
to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's you see that's
the difference.
that's just your and you think only persons are allowed to have certain rights, right? Like the body autonomy. Only persons need to have it, right? Everybody else
yeah.
is subject. Yeah, but you see this is
But it's not
but
everybody
you're
else,
using the
it's-
same logic that Nazi people did because they said Nazi people said, you know what? These group of people, the Jewish people,
Yes.
they're not people. They're not
Yes.
person. They're like animals. We
Yes,
can do whatever
but,
we want
but
to them.
just, from a scientific perspective, it's totally wrong to say a group of people are not people.
But also yours is wrong.
No, because I'm saying animals are not persons.
No, you
To
use
me,
your
it's
own,
not wrong.
but you use your own definition. The Jewish people said,
Yeah, everyone
the
has
Nazi people
different-
said
No,
the
no,
same.
it's not
I'm
the
using
same.
the same definition.
And that's the problem.
And so
That's the problem with vegans.
half of the.
To be honest, I
the
respect
macro-
veganism.
Vegans
I-
just respect animals. That's it.
I
Any-
respect them also, but I
you
don't
don't
think
respect
they're
animals.
equal to-
You
to-
don't respect animals.
Yeah, but you can
say so,
respect different
wait,
positions
yes, if you
also.
say so, if you say
I
so,
don't say so.
But
You
the
kill
thing-
them for something that is optional to you.
But to me, animals are not persons.
Doesn't matter. You can't respect
some.
some. You
yes,
can't
there
respect.
was
You can't
res-
respect them if you think respecting them means taking their life for something that is optional to you.
Yes.
That is not respectful, regardless.
But to you, but to me, for example, because I'm a believer, it can be the same with Jewish people.
But even if you believe
even
in,
with Christians, because let me finish. We think that animals were brought by God for us.
but in Quran it literally says if there's no need, then harming even one extra animal
And
is
define
wrong.
need.
Need means that I need to survive and to thrive.
Yes.
You don't need any animal product to survive
Now
and
in
to thrive.
2025,
No.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
but, so how do you justify it today? How do you justify
that's why
it
I'm
going to
saying
a supermarket today?
that's why I'm saying it's better to reduce.
But reducing
Yeah,
still means
but
you're killing one
maybe-
animal.
Yes, but
Maybe-
it's allowed for us.
Maybe-
Like
no,
in
it's
my
not
mind,
allowed.
it's allowed.
You see, that's
Maybe
the thing.
in a few
You-
years we will have like a minimum of need.
But we
from
still
our
we have no
perspective,
need.
because the generation are changing. So
Doesn't
maybe
matter,
now
there
we're
still is
talking
no
about
need.
eating meat, but maybe in a few years we will not eat anymore.
Will not, but there still is no need now. Doesn't matter what we'll do in 5
Yeah,
years.
but you know
there
it's
still
a
is no
process.
need now.
Also, you need to understand that it's a process because
It's a
we
process in
already-
society.
Since we
Yes.
were born,
But we make
were
this
learned to eat meat and to eat
So was I, yeah.
honey, etc. So, like I said, it's a process of life. Maybe the position will change when we'll be 20, or maybe not. But
For society, maybe, but for individuals like yourself, like myself, we can make changes right right? Because every
Yes, we
time
can.
we buy an animal product,
we're
we make a
already
choice.
changing
We make
things,
we
but
make
slowly.
we make a choice ourselves, right?
Yes.
Whenever we make this choice, how can we justify whether it's religious or not religious? How can we justify forcing an innocent animal into a slaughterhouse, taking their life, exploiting them beforehand? How can we justify doing this when there is absolutely no need because we have other options? So there is
Yeah.
no need. How can we justify doing that even once per year, even today
No, I
only?
understand your point.
Your whole
but I'm
life.
telling you, my point is that all animals, and I'm going to conclude with this, is that all animals should be respected.
But you say that, but your actions don't say that.
to you.
No, to you also.
Yeah, to you.
Even,
No, to me.
even
to me,
in,
I think
even in
that's-
your own
I'm just
religion,
gonna-
it doesn't
I'm just
say
gonna
that.
finish by saying that. To me, I think that I'm respecting all animals, but still eating them from my perspective. Again, I'm talking just about me. From my perspective, eating animals as long as they're killed in a right way. You might say there is no right way
There's
to
no
kill
right
an
way
animal.
to
Okay,
kill.
but in my opinion, there is a way.
I know about the halal and
yes.
haram way,
For
but
us,
you don't
as
even.
long as it's halal, it's treated well. The animal.
But that's the thing. You choose, right? You
yes.
picked and choose from the Quran, and that's
No,
that's the.
I
Oh
don't.
yes, I actually looked a lot into this.
Okay.
I actually spoke to somebody who is who I forgot what they're teaching the
Science,
Quran.
yes,
They're learning about the Quran. And he said when it comes to animals, people choose what they want to believe, because the reality is this: you have this that says yes, if you kill them halal, it's okay to eat them. But then you also have this other thing that says killing one extra animal that is not needed
Yes.
is halal.
But
is,
not
is
needed.
haram.
But that's again.
But
my,
and then
no, that's
and
again
then
my
he said,
point.
let me
It's the
finish.
definition about
Let me
that,
finish,
no, no,
please.
just
Because
that's
let
the
me finish.
that's your definition of need.
No, that's
Yeah,
the
yes.
definition of life need. If I say I need something,
Yes.
it means if I don't get it, I will fucking die, or I will not be able to survive.
No, actually, need in my opinion is if you
But
are
you can't
gonna if
change
you
the dictionary by saying need, in
I'm
my
not-
opinion, means something else.
no, it's because
Need doesn't mean
Everyone has
want. You
different
want it. You don't
Need,
need it.
There are degrees in the word need. Like I need to pee. If I don't pee, I'm not gonna die.
Yes, you are. What do you mean? Your bladder can explode if you don't pee.
Yeah,
you
okay,
need to
but-
pee.
But at one extent, it's gonna go by itself. I need to, but I can decide not to.
No, you can hold on until it explodes. There's
exactly.
people who had that happen. You need to
Yes.
pee.
Okay, but I need to drink. You're gonna die eventually.
Yeah, you need to
There is-
drink, otherwise you're
there are
gonna
some
die.
degrees.
Yeah.
There are some degrees.
But I'm talking
So-
about thriving. Even for thriving, you don't need animal products. Even to be at your highest peak, your best performance, you don't need animal products.
Okay.
You can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yes, I think so. I think also it's an option to have animal meat or products.
So you don't need it.
I think that you don't need it in a way.
We're also open.
Like
now.
you don't need it in the life and death definition.
No, you also don't need it in the performance definition. Imagine a lot of sports performance nowadays, they switch to plant-based diets because they have a higher performance. But like we can debate all you want this, but there's
Yes.
established science that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. There's plenty of athletes who are thriving on it. There's plenty of people who are thriving. I'm a power lifter, for fuck's sake. I thrive on it. I have no problem. So I can tell you that you can thrive. Like, you just gotta figure out what your values are, because if you think you respect animals when you kill them for something that is optional to you, then literally to the animal there is no difference between punching them to death, sedated, granted you're sedating them, only to get exercise, or punching them to death to eat them afterwards.
Yes.
It's the same thing to them.
To be honest, I think that there is a difference, but we're not gonna
Okay, let
agree.
me. Can I give you a card just to
Sure,
look
sure.
into it? So I recommend you watch Dominion. If you scan this code or go on this website and type in this code.
Sure, thank you.
And just to be sure, they also show halal footage just
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
see,
see it.
and look especially in the dairy, because dairy is theoretically halal, but you might find out that it's actually, according to the standards of the Quran, it's very much haram, because the way we do it today, it's very much
Yeah.
haram.
Yeah,
Yes, of
probably.
course.
Yeah.
You're probably
Yeah.
right.
We're aware of that.
Yeah.
And we try to be careful. That's why I'm telling you, we're trying to reduce, not to abuse of it,
We're very
because the
open.
economy and the society has made for us
But-
that it's pretty much you have to have meat at pretty much every single.
But reducing means something within yourself is saying that it's not right to do it. So wouldn't that mean that reducing is still not enough? Because when you're reducing, you're still losing one animal. I'm just saying, like, think
No,
about
I
it.
understand. I understand your point of
Yeah.
view. I'm just saying that I have a different one, and that's at least we can agree that there is something that has to be done.
By each of us.
Each of us, yes.
Okay.
I agree. Thank you very much.
Watch Dominion, okay?
Yeah,
it's
I'll watch
there.
it, I'll
Okay,
watch it, I
watch
promise.
Dominion. You promise you watch it?
What is
Yes,
your
yes.
name?
My name is Chip. My name is Chip. Yeah.
Okay.
You have
Nice to
also
meet
my social media details there, okay?
Sure, I'm gonna look at it.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Cheers, guys. Yes, everybody. Hello. This was Benji, Fox Society. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I did not get a response from it. Yeah, it's sometimes, the discussions go like that. It just happens. There's nothing you can do. Who is saying life is more important than another? Oh yeah, those who exploit and slaughter other sentient beings. Exactly. Dracolome says, hey Chip. Hey Dracolome, nice to see you here. Benji says, the LTN, hey. Graham Johnson, Chip, thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. I do it for the animals. Chip, apparently you don't need to pee. Says Dandelion. Yeah, I don't need to pee. I actually peed just before coming here plenty of times. I forced myself. Pia says, huge congratulations with the award. Thank you so much, Pia. Yeah, David was awesome to help to give me that, and it was I don't know. I felt like it helps me want to do more also, right? That's the thing. That's positive reinforcement really works. And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, David Rams, who's a proeminent vegan activist on YouTube, has given me an award as the most improved vegan activist, I guess. Yeah, it means a lot to me. So thank you for that. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying the we had 2 conversations back to back. I just started and everybody started having a conversation with me. That's good, right? It is a little bit cold. We might get some rain, so that's why I started a little bit earlier. It's not that I know some people from US wanted to start a little bit later, and it's just that the weather kind of sucks here sometimes in the evening. Martin says, Chip, you deserve it. Thank you so much, Martin. Happy New Year, Ali. Oh yeah, and Happy New Year to everybody. I completely forgot that it's New Year's. Yeah, I just treated it like any other day, to be honest. The New Year wasn't a big deal for me. How is everybody doing? How's your day so far? My feet are already frozen because it's a little bit cold, but that's to be expected. I don't know how long we'll do this again because it might start raining, but we'll do it as long as we can. Chase, like and subscribe, says Chase. Chase, welcome. I'm glad you're here and you woke up so early. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you. I just discovered you from David's award, been binging all your videos and live streams over New Year. You're an inspiration, says Graham Jackson. Thank you so much, Graham. I'm just a vessel for the message. That's all I am. I'm not particularly special. I'm just a vessel. Nick is here, USA here, perfect timing for stream. Nick says, nice to have you, Nick. I think, Nick, last time we ended the stream, you also made a donation, and I want to thank you for that, Nick. I did see it at the last minute, but I couldn't say anything. Thomas Pekin asks me, that Chip guy, do you believe morality is objective or subjective? Subjective, as you saw, based on the people I interviewed, I asked them about their morality and moral standards. Morality is very much subjective, but morality also has to be, and that is very important, logically consistent. 6, I'm a new subscriber, thanks for all you do. 6, thank you so much for the super chat, and hey, thank you for being a new subscriber, I appreciate you. Where are you from, by the way, 6? Hello from Moldova, says Hajduk. Nice. Bună ziua. Children are being trafficked and you'll fight when intention how each life is important. Yeah, children are being trafficked but misleading, but I don't think you pay for that. Hi.
Hello.
You want to do a social experiment?
Yes.
Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel? Benji, thank you for the super chat.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get people. Can you come a little bit closer so that you're in view?
Yes, okay.
So I'm trying to get people. Do you guys don't want to come, or what's happening? Because he came and then he moved there. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay. So I'm doing my social experiment is the purpose of it is to kind of grasp the relationship that people have with animals.
Okay.
So do you have any pet companions or animal friends or something like that?
No.
No. No. Okay. Then I'll just turn this around and you tell me. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Yeah, of course not.
Not okay. Very
should,
sure.
No, it should be illegal.
Illegal. Okay. What do you think?
Les agressions sur les animaux.
Hein?
Les agressions sur les animaux, ça doit être illégal.
Oui.
Yes.
It should be illegal.
It should be illegal, yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because they are human beings. They are living beings.
They are living beings.
Yes. So it's free pain for nothing.
Okay. Okay. So, how would you define abuse?
I don't know. It's a bit hard to define.
I would say physical or emotional harm.
Yeah. I mean, yelling for things and you know that he doesn't understand, or just hitting it without any purpose.
Okay. So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Yeah.
Still
You're
wrong?
right. Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's not considered as the same, I guess.
Yeah, it's not considered as the same. But do you think it's still abuse when we buy animal products?
It depends on the way it was grown.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think killing an animal is not abusive?
I don't know. I mean, this is why I don't know. I think it's very abusive when it's killing animals that are just growing in cages and in dark places.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there is some more respectful way to do it, but maybe some people still think it's bad to do so.
Let's talk about the dairy industry, for example. Do you know anything about the dairy industry?
No.
So why do you think cows produce milk?
Huh?
Why do you think cows produce milk?
Cow. Sorry, I didn't.
Why do cows produce milk?
Ah. Why?
Because they're mammals. They're like us.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in order to feed their babies, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in order for that to happen, they need to be pregnant, they need to have babies. So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them. Literally, somebody puts their hands in their anus, hold their
Okay.
cervix, and injectable semen in their vagina, which is already, if you ask me, that's already sexual abuse.
Yeah.
After 9 months, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
They get killed.
Well, first thing that happens is they get separated from from their mother.
Yeah.
Because if they would stay with their mother, they would drink their milk.
Okay.
So, but the milk has to be sold, so they cannot drink too much of the milk. If the baby is born male, yeah, they don't produce any milk, so they get killed, as you said.
Okay.
And the female, year-over-year forceful impregnation until 6 to 8 years, when they can no longer impregnate them,
Yeah.
and with ease, and then they kill them, and they can live up to 25 years. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you say this is abusive?
I mean, yeah, of course, the way to do it is so wrong.
And this is standard practice, small farms, large farms.
Yeah.
Even in my grandmother's backyard, it happened the same.
Yeah. I guess it's a way to do it that has been passed from generation to generation, but I mean also it's the price of I guess cheap meat or things like this.
But this is about milk, cheese, eggs,
Yeah,
all of this,
cheese
right?
also, yeah, of course,
So do you think that do you think you can be against animal abuse while at the same time buy animal products, which would mean supporting animal abuse?
I think you can. Like if you are really careful about how you choose your product, just be sure that the animal have been treated correctly.
But this happens
and
everywhere. Again, like how can you buy cheese if a cow gets sexually abused, has their baby taken,
yeah,
and the baby
I
killed?
know. I don't know. I don't have an answer here. I just think there are more ethical way to do it, even if some people would think that it's not ethical yet.
But let me put it this way: if somebody were to bully somebody every day, and they reduce bullying them to once per week, or they bully them in a different way, would we call that more ethical bullying, or would we still call it bullying?
I don't know. I don't know who you're trying to convince.
I'm just trying to see, because you say that I would assume
Yeah,
you're
of
against
course.
animal abuse, right?
I mean, it's also animal abuse because the animal is attached to you. A cow, I don't think it's so attached to its farmer. I don't know.
They are attached, yeah.
Yeah, okay, probably. Probably not as much as a dog. I don't know.
But why does that matter?
No,
because
it shouldn't matter. I don't know. There's some explanation behind probably the different way we see a cow or a dog, for example. Probably this
Yeah.
might explain it. I don't know. But
do you think that's in any way fair towards them? Because if I see black people differently,
No, it's not fair. It's
would
not
it be
fair.
fair for me to exploit them?
No, of course not fair.
No.
I mean, it's just the way we see it, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a globally shared, generally shared point of view. You probably don't have it, but
And then coming back to you, because you say you're against animal abuse, do you think you can maintain your status of being against animal abuse while at the same time you support it by paying money for people to abuse animals so that you can get meat, cheese, eggs?
yeah, I think that's always the problem. I think
Leather.
I can. Yeah. Honestly, I think it depends on the way you see it. Some people don't care.
But what about you?
I mean, I care enough to just be careful on what I buy. Just avoid stuff that have been grown in terrible condition, and I think that's the starting point. I don't know, but I mean, what you're thinking and what you're doing is very
But you're
cool in my opinion. But
you're still supporting some form of abuse, right? When you say that,
Yeah,
I'll
probably.
be careful where they're coming from. It's like saying we give the animal a good life and then we kill them because we want to. Like, how can we justify killing somebody when we don't need to?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody has its own definition, own limits. It's very cool that you have yours. I have mine. I feel
But you're
okay with
according
it.
to your own definitions, you say you are against animal abuse,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're against animal abuse, don't you think there's a contradiction when you pay money to abuse animals?
No, I pay money just to buy something I want to eat.
Yeah, but when you buy something to eat, you could literally buy anything else that doesn't abuse an animal.
Yeah,
so
I
you
don't
choose
know,
for
yeah.
an animal to be abused.
I mean, once again, it depends on how we define it.
But you said physical or emotional harm is abuse. I would say putting a knife to somebody's throat is abusive regardless of what the cause is. Or
Yeah,
what you
yeah, yeah.
want.
No, I get your points. I don't know what to say honestly. I don't think. I think you can reduce it by the way I explained it to you, and it depends also on the way you define it. But so far, I feel like we are just running in a circle.
So how many more animals should be exploited and slaughtered for you before you stop supporting it?
You know, you mean what? Before I go vegan, you mean?
Yeah, before you stop supporting animal abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there is something less radical that is possible, sustainably speaking.
Well,
Than
do
veganism?
you think veganism is radical?
I don't think it's radical. It's just I think we can have a more sober, more demure way to consume that could work for everybody.
Do we have a modern way, a sober way of consuming when it comes to consuming dogs or cats? Is there a way where I can kill one dog per week and kill and eat them?
I guess some cultures does. Ours,
But
do-
according to your own morals,
Ah.
is there a way?
I don't know.
Killing dogs? Would you kill dogs to eat them? Would you support
I mean,
killing
depends.
of
Probably on the
dogs?
culture, some cultures do. I don't. But it's the same. Like we kill the cows to eat them. In India, they don't kill cow because they're sacred. They don't
Yeah,
eat
but
them.
I'm not
Depends
talking
on the
about the
culture.
mass. I'm talking about your own morals. According to your own morals, it would be wrong to kill a dog every week, right? To eat them.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So then, again, like, it would be also be wrong then to kill cows for the same reason, right? Because why would it be right or
No,
wrong
because
for
it's
one or
linked
the
to the
other?
culture. Like what you're saying is relevant for a society where there is no culture. But here it's the culture not to kill dogs and to eat cows. In India, they eat dogs. They don't kill cows.
But
know.
culturally, there's places in this world where culturally they do female genital mutilation, where they literally cut the clitoris off of women. Do you think culture should dictate whether that's right or wrong, or do you think we should say it's wrong because there's a victim?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think the talk is very interesting, but right now my friend are waiting. So I mean, yeah, it's a very cool cause that you're leading, probably.
Yeah, it means nothing if you don't make changes, man. It means nothing because at the end of the day, you know, all these animals, they all want to live. But I'll give you a card and let you be. I won't pester you too much. If I frustrated you, I'm sorry.
No,
Please
you
don't
don't.
take it out on the animals. I'm just trying to speak on their behalf.
Of course not. Of course not.
I
think it's very
recommend
cool.
that you watch Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. If you scan this code or go on this website and type in this code, you have plenty of resources to help you out. But give it a watch.
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
those
okay.
two things, and you'll see it's
Yeah, okay, but
you'll understand where I'm coming from because we imagine green pastures and nice lives and that they get killed like this. But it's so far from reality. It's so far from
Yeah.
reality. It is really abusive what happens there. Like
Okay.
it's abuse isn't even a good enough word. Just how fucked up it
Okay,
is.
that's
what
really
we do
bad.
to them.
Well,
Okay.
I see very very cool calls. Good luck for your video.
Don't abuse any more animals. Okay.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna go vegan tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm
But
being
that just
very
means
careful
you'll keep
about-
supporting animal abuse.
Ah, okay, whatever, man.
Slim says he's not gay. I'm just European. Who cares? LSL, just because you're too soft to feed into nature. Hey, Alexandra, nice to see you here. You hit a nerve, says Pia. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. That's just reality. Yeah? Some people can handle reality, some can't. YM says I'll debate this guy any day. YM, please contact me on Instagram and let's schedule a debate then. Because you say you'll debate me any day. Therefore, you should be okay with scheduling one and let's debate. Nick says you're punching bag to build muscles analogy is great, both the sedated and not sedated versions. Yeah, I also think it works really well. Yeah, I believe that anybody in this chat, if you're not vegan and you think that it's not okay to kill dogs, to beat them to death only to get exercise, then definitely you should not be okay to kill any animals only to get nutrition, because you can get nutrition from other places and you can get exercise from other places just like that. So yeah. David Rogers asks, you the vegan guy? Yes, I am vegan, David Rogers, because I respect animals. That's literally what veganism is. It means we respect animals, we let them live. And welcome to the chat. You did good bringing up female circumcisions, says Ali. Yeah. YM says, wrong. Okay, you're wrong. I'm upset. YM, contact me on Instagram, man. Let's schedule it. If you're so up for debate, hey, I'm up for debate any day. Well, you need to schedule it because I have other things going on. I have a job also, you know. But yeah, go for it. Contact me. YM, wrong. Contact me and let's schedule a debate. And everybody else, welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. Subscribe if you like it, and yeah, all that beautiful thing. YM, I wish I could. I don't have Insta, says YM. Oh my God, they always come up with a reason. They always say, hey, I would debate you no matter what. But then when it comes, you want to try it?
No, thank you.
But then when it comes to actually doing the debate, they always back up. It always happens. It's so funny, you know, like people, it's so insane to be. Chase says cheap vegan food: rice, beans, pasta, fruits, vegetable, breads, tofu, grains. White Lightning asks me, are you selling oranges? I am not selling oranges, no. Professor Spink Philosophy Channel, good name by the way. YM is cowering, yeah. YM, you're lucky I don't. That's so funny, man. It's so funny. Honestly, I'm sorry, but this is funny. It's so funny to sit behind a keyboard and say, hey, I'll debate you anytime. Then I say, okay, let's schedule it. And then you say, it's funny. But yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't like making fun of people. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just like, you literally said, let's do it. And then when I say, okay, let's schedule it, you backed up. So yeah. It's funny though, says the LTN. Yeah. LSL says, I am making fun of you. Yeah, let's not make fun of everybody. You know, the thing is, we can debate, we can have conversations, but let's not make fun of people. Yeah, because it's not nice. It's fun. It's nice to laugh and to make jokes, but it's not fun to make fun of people. You know, maybe make fun of situations. And the situation was kind of funny if you think about it. Bro, you care about animal and don't care about human emotion, says Mohammed after I just said, let's not make fun of people. I mean, I swear to God, some of you people, like, you come into the chat and you don't even listen. Please just at least listen before you type it, you know? YM says he'll be abusing some animals and thinking of us while he's doing the abuse. That's okay, as always. It's generally the reaction of people who get triggered, that they say, you know what, I'll be abusing more animals today because you made me feel bad about my choice. Don't do that. 6 says, don't make fun of people and don't lie. Yeah, 6. Don't make fun of people and don't lie, exactly. Ahmed says, fuck people, save the animals. No, let's not fuck people. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody deserves empathy. Everybody deserves body autonomy. So let's not dismiss anybody. You guys want to try a social experiment? You guys want to try the social experiment?
Sure.
You okay being live from my YouTube channel?
No problem.
Okay. Do you guys have any pet companions or something like that?
Pet companions?
Yeah, like
I have a cat.
You have a cat?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm trying to. The social experiment is about the relationship that we have with animals. So, what's your cat's name?
Mitzi.
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 Where are you from?
Germany.
Germany. Okay.
Yes.
Well, how about you? Where are you from?
My cat's name is Nelly.
Nelly. You also have a cat. Okay, nice. Can you tell me something about Mitzi or Nelly?
Mitzi is like a cat that's very. She's very clingy, if it's called like that. Yeah,
Oh.
she always wants to come to me and she annoys me a lot of times, which is her fun. Yeah.
Nice. How about?
She's a bit stupid, but I like it.
She's a bit stupid. In
Yeah.
what way? What do you mean?
She always falls off stuff or kicks off items. It's crazy sometimes.
I guess it's her way of being playful, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Do they have any fears or pleasures that they have? Any particular? When I mean pleasures, I mean like things that they like in particular.
She loves when I pet her. I think that's every cat like that, but yeah, she loves that.
Okay.
Yeah. she likes it also when I pet her, but she doesn't like fireworks. Even with a small boom, it's always crazy.
What was her name again? I'm sorry. I
Nelly.
forgot. Nelly. Okay. Do you know Mitzi?
No.
Okay. So do you know Nelly?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was curious. Okay. Because I'm curious. Do you think that Mitzi and Nelly are the same, or do you think they're different, like in personalities?
If he tells me about her cat, it's very different, I think.
Yeah, it's very different,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
They have different personalities.
Yeah,
okay. Do you think do you treat them as like members of your family, or are they like just I don't know, slaves around the house?
No, like members of the family, I think. But I think that's every pet owner like that. I don't think, or like, yeah, I think everyone thinks like that.
Same?
Yeah, same. It's she is different to anybody in our family.
Yeah.
She treats anybody not the same. She likes me more than my father.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah. So she does have some preference in that
Yes.
matter. So do you think that if we were to take it in isolation, Mitzi or Nelly, they wouldn't be part of your family? Let's say they would just be some animals somewhere. Do you think that they would still be the same individuals with preferences, with different personalities? Well, not necessarily the same, because of course our environment changes, influences us. But I mean like different as in, do you think they would still? Do you think abusing them would be okay? Would abusing them be okay?
No, of course not.
Even if they wouldn't
It's
be
never
part of
okay.
your family.
No, it's not okay. Of course, it's not okay. I think they're kind of just like humans in that way. In other environments, I'm different, and the cat is gonna be different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then, do you think that all animals are like this, or is it just Mitzi and Nelly?
I think all animals are like that.
Yeah.
Even like you can see in the zoo, they're very different to their counterparts that live in the wild.
Yeah.
You could say, yeah.
So then, and I'm not trying to catch you up with this. I used to participate in it too, but what about the animals that we use for farming, for that we force into slaughterhouses so that we get clothing, that we get food, that we get any of this? Do you think they deserve not to be abused, or?
That's a very tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people eat meat and use animal clothing. Was heißt Doppelmoral? Ich weiß es nicht. It's a good question. I think it doesn't matter what I answer, I still eat meat, so I'm still guilty of that way.
But do you think that all of these animals that, let's say, die for you to eat meat, do you think that they're not very much the same as Mitzi or as Nelly, where they just want to live their own life? They don't want necessarily somebody to cut their throat so that somebody else can eat them, right? Because at the end of the day, we can have options. We don't never need to eat them.
Yeah, I think they're the same, just like Mitzi.
Yeah.
What can I say? I mean, you could say in the argument that they are born just for that purpose, but it's still.
Yeah, because if somebody were to bred cats like Mitzi or like Nelly just for that purpose, that still wouldn't be right for them to do
Yeah,
so, right?
true, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
So then, where's this disconnect coming from? If you think it's okay to kill these other animals, but it's not okay to kill animals like Mitzi. But well, all animals are like Mitzi, as we've established. But why is it that there's a disconnect there where you think it's okay to buy animal products, given that you don't need to? Because there is some inherent animal abuse behind it, right?
Of course, yeah. I think it's just because we go to the supermarket and we just see the meat, we don't see
Yeah.
the killing, the slaughter, stuff like that. I think we just see it as a product, just like an apple.
Yeah, that is true. That's
Yeah.
probably is that the same for you?
Yeah, it's the same. If I would see how the animals would be killed, I don't think I would eat meat.
Have you guys ever seen footage of how they
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah,
And
I've
how,
seen.
how did you feel when you watched that kind of footage?
It was disgusting, obviously.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, so obviously when we go into a supermarket, and this is one of the biggest things that these industries do, right? They disconnect us from what's happening, but that doesn't mean that that's still not happening, right? Like what you saw is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's still happening, and you're still paying for it when you're buying animal products.
Yeah.
And do you think it's important that we stop doing this because, all of these animals, they deserve just as much as Mitzi or as Nelly to live and to be free, right? Not be exploited and used as products, right?
Yeah, I mean that's true. But then I mean, people are still gonna want to eat meat. So do you think there's a way to do it properly?
I don't think there's any way to kill somebody when you don't need to.
Mhm.
No proper way. I think, first of all, I don't think there's any proper way to kill anybody regardless if you need to or not. I think for that individual, if they didn't consent to being killed, then they're not going to want to die. So how can you kill somebody who doesn't want to die? It's still bad, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, but it's especially bad. It's especially terrible when we don't need it, right? When we have alternatives. Like if I were to give a hypothetical where I take a cat, not a dog, like a cat, and I hang them by their leg and I punch them all the way until they die, would you say that's okay to do?
No, of course not.
No, but if I say that I get exercise from it, would that justify it?
No,
Because I have alternatives.
there wouldn't be anything to justify that.
Exactly. So in the case of food, if I were to do something similar where I hang them by their leg and cut their throat, how is that justified when I still have alternatives, right?
Yeah, of course.
See what I mean?
So are you vegan or?
Yeah, I am
you're
vegan, yeah.
Since when, if I may ask?
3 years,
3 years.
yeah.
So what changed your mind?
For me, it was what dairy industry. I don't know. If, learning about I used to be. So first, I was vegetarian, but I was vegetarian because of health reasons. I thought it is healthier to not eat meat in general because meat is high in saturated fat. Red meat is is a type BA, 2B carcinogenic. So there's just all these reasons to not eat meat. But so I switched to vegetarians. But when I became vegan, I became because I learned about the dairy industry. And being vegan literally just means respecting animals. Means being vegan is not about the diet or the clothing. It's literally about the animals, and means letting them live, respecting them, and leaving them out of your life in a sense where you're like, if I don't need to use an animal, I will not use an animal, and that's the case nowadays with everything: clothing, food, entertainment, anything. And when I learned about the dairy industry is what got me vegan. Do you know about anything about the dairy industry?
Yeah, no, they, for example, to get the milk from the cow, they need to be impregnated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen those machines and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they forcefully impregnate them, and when the babies are born, what do you think happens to the babies?
Slaughtered.
Well, the first thing is they get separated from their mothers so that they don't drink the milk, because if they drink the milk, I mean, the milk is just for farmers to sell, right? It's not for them to drink it. Not.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up, right? Like the natural way would be that the child drinks the milk.
Yeah.
And this happens, by the way, on small farms, large. I even saw it in my backyard on my grandma. I saw how the baby would come drink some milk, and then with a stick they pull them away to not drink too much because the milk was for us. And yeah, if they're born male, they get killed. If female, same as their mother, for forceful impregnation every year, until they can no longer impregnate them, and then they kill them because keeping them alive would be too expensive for them. And that usually happens like at a quarter of their lifespan. So that's kind of messed up, right?
Of course, yeah. It's kind of like Auschwitz, no?
It's very much like. In fact, Auschwitz was inspired by from what we do to animals. Actually,
Yeah.
it's very much inspired from how we kill pigs. Pigs are killed in gas chambers still. So Auschwitz was very much inspired by that.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine.
So do you think that you yourself can be against animal abuse while simultaneously supporting it by paying for products like cheese, like milk, like meat when you hear about what they go through?
If I could still buy it, you
Yeah.
mean?
Do you think you can still be against animal abuse? Because you can say you are, but then if you
But
support
still
it,
buy, yeah, that's true. I mean, not really, no. I mean, if you still buy it, you still support it, basically.
exactly.
But what do you think of these people that, for example, me, I know what happens, but I still buy it?
Yeah.
What do you think should change?
I think you should stop buying.
Stop buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is keeping you from buying? Yeah, because if you know about it and you think it's awful, you connect with it. You kind of understand. I understand the disconnect when you go to the supermarket, but like, you just need a little bit of mental effort, right, to realize that they are going through through really bad shit when you go there, so that you choose something else. But then, if you choose something else for enough times, you don't even think about it anymore. It's
Yeah.
the same as anything else.
To be honest, I just like meat.
Yeah, like the taste or the texture or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But do you think you can find other products which maybe not they taste the same or have the same texture, but are similar enough that no animal needs to be exploited or killed for you?
I don't think meat can replace any product that is not like, for example, soy, or I think it's called soy.
Yeah.
I don't think it can replace it.
I mean, there's plenty of plant-based meats, right, that are actually very similar. And if you, I would assume when you eat meat, you also kind of add spices and stuff to it. So if you add spices to these, they can taste and so similar that there's only a difference in taste, but like, and maybe texture. But the question is, do you think that that difference in taste and texture justifies what these animals go through?
If I would need to answer, I don't think.
Yeah. What do you think?
It doesn't justify.
It doesn't justify it. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's how I became vegan, right? Because I couldn't find a justification to say the yogurt, the cheese, whatever it is that I buy, to that it justifies any of the shit that they go through. I could just so easily replace it. And yeah, it was different in taste. But to be honest, now after 3 years, I accidentally at some point had some yogurt that wasn't like at a friend's house that wasn't plant-based, and I actually thought it tasted way worse than the soy version of it. Yeah. So your taste buds adapt. You learn to love something else, and you might love it even more. And I think it doesn't do enough justice to the whole idea of animals being exploited for us when we disregard them completely and say it's my taste is more important. Do you think your taste is more important than their life?
No, I think that would be selfish to say, but
Yeah.
it is selfish to say, but the truth is yes.
But because of your actions.
Yeah, yeah.
But not because of your morals. Like
No.
your morals would want to say otherwise. How
Yeah.
about you?
It's the same. I think I will try more vegan stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay. So I'll just give you one more question and I'll let you go. This is a hard one, okay? So how many more animals should be exploited for you before you make a change?
How many animals should be exploited before I make a change?
How many do you want?
How many I want? That's a tough question, yeah.
What about you?
I think none is the right answer.
None is the right answer, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means you gotta go vegan. Let me give you some resources to help you with all of this, and just to get more informed at least. Hey, by the way, guys, what's your name?
Alexandros.
Alexandros?
Dominic.
Dominic.
What's your name?
I'm Chip.
Chip, okay.
Guys, you seem so open-minded. I love that you've been open. You didn't get defensive, and you had the conversation with me. A lot of the times people get defensive because they imagine that I'm trying to change them. I'm not. I'm just speaking for animals, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And-
In one way that you are doing is fine, but I'm pretty sure you know. But for example, in Cologne, they're like the vegans are masked and they show like to little children slaughterhouses.
I know. The
And
sad part is
that
that's
is-
the reality. You know,
That's
that
the
you see,
reality,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
But it's still not okay to show little kids these pictures.
Yeah,
I
it
really
shouldn't
don't
be
think.
happening. That's the reality, right? We shouldn't be
True.
doing this. And yeah, I think so. In certain places, I did that also with Anonymous for the Voices, they're called. And in certain places, they lift the TV when there's a child.
Yeah.
But you know, if there's a lot of people around, it's hard to take care if there's one child or another, and you know, everybody deals with it differently, right? Like I try to be more logical and more calm when I speak to people, but you know, you can't help but be at least a little bit emotional when you realize that, like your pet, Mitzi and
Nelly.
Nelly, yes, thank you. Mitzi and Nelly, when all these animals are very much like them and you look at them and then you imagine another animal like that having their throat cut just because anybody else wants to. And while you two have been listening and have been open to it, there's people who are like, you can't imagine they just go around saying, well, I like meat, well, I'm gonna eat double the meat now, or
Yeah.
like they just get triggered and they get upset over it, right?
Yeah,
So
of
it's only normal that we all become a little bit emotional about it, right? Let me give you some resources. So I'll give you one map of Amsterdam, which you have vegan restaurants in Amsterdam,
Thank you.
which is something that you guys can try. And you guys are German?
Yes.
Germany, yeah.
Okay. I have, coincidentally, flyers in German. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
You will have resources there, and I'll just give you one card also. I know it's a lot, but I'll give it to one of you. I give you the map. I'll give you the card.
Okay.
and you have resources that will help you. Challenge 22, which you can find here if you scan this code or go on this website right here and type in this code. They hook you up with it's free. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan by eliminating this habit that we have, because for most people it's a habit.
Yeah.
You have personalized health 24/7 coaching. Somebody can help you. They log in with you on the Discord server and help you. You have absolutely all the help you need. You have all the information and documentaries that you need. You just gotta want to make that change, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate
Thanks a
you
lot.
guys.
Have a nice day.
And
Thanks so much
have
for
a
the
nice vegan
information.
life, okay?
I will
No
try.
more animals. I appreciate you. Bye. Those were some pretty good conversations, right? Alexandra says, oh, hi. You want to try a social experiment?
Yes.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay, well, what are your names?
Charlotte.
Charlotte and
Juliette.
Juliette, okay. Where are you from?
France.
Oh, France. Okay. So this experiment, I'm trying to understand the relationship we have with animals.
Okay.
Do you have any pet companions or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
I have a cat
Okay.
called Kitty.
Kitty. Okay. What about you?
I have a rabbit called
rabbit.
Taga.
Taga.
Yes.
Nice. Kitty and Taga.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something in particular you can tell me about their personalities, about Kitty and Taga?
Kitty, she hates when I do the Hoover.
Yeah.
She runs away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
How-
Just when I take it before I put it on, she recognizes and she.
yeah, she
leaves the
recognizes
house.
the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, she don't have a real. What's the question?
If there's something in
Ah,
particular
she
about
don't have
their
a real
personality.
personality because it's a rabbit, so I don't know. Maybe she's a bit scary. And yes, that's it.
Does Toga have any preferences that they like more than anything? That they like more than
Maybe
other
the
things?
food. She loves specific. Comment on dit des croquettes?
Oh, the little stuff for animals. What do you
Yeah,
call them?
yeah.
What's her favorite flavor?
The pellets.
Yeah.
C'est une plante, je sais plus.
Ok.
Like,
Invente.
Carotte.
Carrots. Okay, nice carrots. Okay. Do you think there's something that they're particularly afraid of? Like, does kitties have something that they're afraid of?
Yeah, the Hoover.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner.
The
Yeah, you
vacuum
said that.
cleaner,
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Dogs
Oh,
and cats.
dogs. Dogs and cats. Okay.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't meet kitty and
No,
dog, I
no.
guess, because they're
No, no.
afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that? Would you say are they like inferior or are they like members of your family? How do you see
No,
them?
mine is a member of the family.
No,
Okay.
For
my mom ate my rabbit.
Oh,
hates
she ate. She
Yes.
hated.
No, she doesn't hate it, but she's a bit scary.
Oh, she's a bit.
So it's like not important.
But how do you see her?
Yes, I see her like my baby. Of course.
Okay, interesting. Okay, do you think that all animals require, like, if Kitty or Toga were to be taken out of the constant context of your families, right, and they would just be animals somewhere in the wild, let's say, do you think that they would still require the same rights that they have right now? Like nobody to abuse them, nobody to kill them, nobody to.
No.
Some people eat rabbits. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
for me,
And
Yeah.
some people I think eat cats.
yes.
They do. Yeah.
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 So no.
So
And hence the place where I'm going towards. Do you think that the animals that we kill for food, for clothing, do you think they
No, it's fake.
it's okay.
It's fake fur.
Do you think that they deserve some body autonomy and not to be used, given that we have options?
Maybe we have to be responsible about
Yeah.
it, not kill everything
yeah.
and in too much quantity.
yeah.
But actually, we can't do things to. Comment on dit pour améliorer ça?
To change it.
To change it, yes.
But you can choose to not be part of it. right?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But I love chicken nuggets at McDonald's. So.
But do you think that so would you consider that both of you are against abusing animals?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Yes.
And do you think you can be against abusing animals while at the same time you pay for animal abuse? Right? Like when you buy animal products, there's definitely abuse happening behind it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. I think it's a life change that we need to do, but it's a big effort at first because we need to replace everything. Well, yeah, change our habits. So
Yeah.
that's the hardest
Il y a
part, I think.
94 personnes.
Yeah. Yeah. So then
Because what are you? Are you vegetarian?
I'm a vegan. Yeah.
Vegan.
Do you know what being vegan
Yeah.
means?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Yeah, si tu manges pas, tu
oui.
not,
No fish, no
and
nothing.
no tested and no like brush in poil de
Okay.
sanglier là.
Yeah.
Comme on dit.
But for example, vegetables you can eat
Not
even
either.
even if it didn't fall naturally, or
So it's very interesting because everybody who I talk to when I ask them what being vegan means, they just see the consequence of it, right? Reality of being vegan just means that we respect animals and we let them, we don't kill them or use them or exploit them in any way because
Yeah.
we always have options available,
Yeah.
right? So that literally what being vegan means. And of course, as a consequence of it means that we don't eat animals, we don't use them for clothing, for food, for entertainment, for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Because we have alternatives. So that's what being vegan means.
And it's
Yeah.
difficult, no?
It's not difficult at all. I would say it seems difficult. Oh yeah, it's starting to rain a little bit. It only seems a little bit difficult because it's a change. But the reality is that's not difficult at all.
okay.
Let me give you a card. Let me give you a card before you go
Oh,
quickly.
yes.
You have things to watch here: Dominion and the most important
Okay.
feature level here.
Thank
okay?
you.
Okay, thank
Have
you.
a nice day. Bye, guys.
Bye. It's starting to rain badly, as you can see. I will cover myself and the phone while it's raining. Yeah, rain not going away. I think it's gonna go away in like 5 minutes anyway. Did you bring an umbrella? Asks Linda. I did not bring an umbrella, Linda, no. Umbrellas are kind of pointless in Netherlands a lot of the times because of the wind. So I did not bring an umbrella. But I am dangerously close to the camera right now, huh? There you go. And the rain stopped. What are we talking about? It's not even that bad. Well, it's still going, as you can see, but it's manageable now. Second. It's all wet. It's all wet. McDowell says, we know the suffering, we simply don't care. McDowell, you'd be surprised that actually a lot of people do care. You don't care. Speak for yourself. Linda says, Chip is so chill, it's not even that bad. Linda, when you've been in the Netherlands for 10 years, you kind of learn that rain is a dick and it can happen anytime. Sometimes you run, sometimes you stay. I'll try to stay. Let's see. The only problem is that I can stay, but as you see, I don't know if you can tell, but it totally emptied out. Like everybody there's almost nobody on the street because people run from the rain. So let's see. Maybe we can still get some people, and let's see how it progresses because this was just a short thing and it might get worse. So as I said, I knew it was gonna rain. Mobius says that sign has been through a lot. Yes, Mobius, that sign has been through a lot. Yeah, I really appreciate Alexandra for giving me these signs. They're very good. I don't know if they're waterproof, but they have been pretending to be waterproof. Six says, where are you? I'm in Amsterdam, Netherlands, right now, in Museumplein to be specific, like Museum Square. Do you think Russia will buy out the Netherlands? 7. No, of course not. I don't think Russia has the money to buy out Netherlands anyway. What do you mean? It's kind of funny. Russia's GDP is actually smaller than Romania's GDP. Well, GDP per capita. Let's be clear, which is the important part. So, yeah. They are, yes, says Alexandra. Happy to see them in action. Yeah, Alexandra, these signs are honestly, they did change my activism. So thank you very much. Uriel asks, is weed legal there? Yes, it is. There is legal weed. There's also the gray area weed. So yeah, there is. Yeah. No one really gets paid for it. Activists get very little, maybe some Patreon. Yeah, David, I mean, I think in total out of all the super chats and well, let's call them donations that time. All the donations that I've been given and all the memberships from my YouTube channel and everything, I think I make around 100 euros per month, which is nowhere nearly enough to, because also YouTube takes some, then the government takes some. So, hi, you want to try a social experiment?
Yes.
Are you keeping live on my YouTube channel?
Hello.
What's your name?
Victor.
Victor, where are you from?
I'm from Sofia, Bulgaria.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I'm testing out the relationship we have with animals. Do you have an animal pet or an animal?
Yes.
Can you tell me something about them?
I have a dog and a cat.
You have a dog and a cat. Okay.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about them? What are their names?
Erika, and the cat is Mickey.
Erika and Mickey. Okay. Do you see Erika and Mickey as members of your family, or do you see them?
Yeah.
They're members of your family.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think?
Oh, we have two dogs and one cat.
2 dogs and 1
Yeah,
cat.
yeah.
Erika and Mickey and
Benji.
Benji. That's
Yes,
the dog, I guess.
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Erika, the dog, Benji, the dog, and
Yeah.
Mitzi.
Yeah, Mickey.
Mickey. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they have a personality, that they have things that they like, that they think that they dislike?
Of course, yes.
What can you tell me about something that they like or something that they're afraid of? Something specific to
For
them.
example, Benji is very social dog. He cannot be alone. He likes to be around people. And the other dog, she lives outside. She's a big dog, like German
Yeah.
Shepherd. She's a little bit like ADHD. She chases her tail. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
So-
to play, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So do you think that they're closer to a somebody or closer to a something?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think that they're closer to like individuals with personalities, with desires of their own, or do you think they're closer to like objects of?
No, not objects.
Not objects.
No. They, of course, they have their personality and what they like and dislike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think all animals are like this, or do you think it's specific to them?
Maybe cats and dogs and some other animals have more like outspoken personalities. But birds, for example, I don't know, like what kind of personality does bird have?
They do have it, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's called sentience,
Uh-huh.
which is this idea of that they are subjects of their own universe,
Uh-huh.
and all animals have it, including
Okay.
like the animals that we farm or the animals that we use for
Uh-huh.
clothing, for food. Do you think that there's any difference between farming dogs for food or farming cows for food?
Yeah.
What is that difference?
I mean, cows, I see it as 5,000 years ago. It's what brought us as species forward, right?
Yeah.
The ability to farm animals. But it's raining a lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll
No more-
run.
Don't abuse animals for
No,
food.
I won't.
No abusing of animals. This is what happens when it rains. This is what happens when it rains. It's difficult. Everybody runs away from the rain. Okay, let's see what happens, how it progresses, everybody. We might need to end it if it keeps going this way, because it's starting again a little bit harder. Okay, let's see what people in the chat are doing. Wasn't there a spot that had a roof, says Linda? Yeah, but I'm pretty far away from that. Mello says, get an umbrella. Yeah, where? I can't get home right now to get an umbrella. Pia says, oh no, Pia Ogilvy, yes, that sounds like a distressed dog, so sad. Come on, Sky, let's ship talking to people. Okay, there you go. Yeah, freaking Sky, look at this, it's full of hail. Unbelievable. Okay. Ah, come on. I think we might need to end it, everybody, sadly. I hope you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, this is why it's raining, people, because you're not subscribed to the channel. You need to subscribe and like. That's why it's raining. God is punishing me for you guys watching without subscribing. Aqua asks, what is your mission? Aqua, my mission is to end slavery. Stupid rain, says Alexandra. Yes, exactly, Alexandra. Oh, come on, it's insane. It just starts and stops again. Yeah, I think we might need to end it. We'll give it another 5 minutes. Maybe we can still do it. Ranveer says balls, 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 balls. Okay, Ranveer, we get it. Martin says like, subscribe, comment, and be a member if possible. Yeah, Martin, thank you. Exactly. Like, subscribe, and be a member. I would say, why should you subscribe and why should you like? Because, first of all, as you can see, you never know what's going to happen when you do this kind of stuff. So that's why you should subscribe. Why you should be a member? Because, if you want to support this. And also in the coming year, I will be making some really cool videos. So stick around for that. Stick around for those. I actually have a really cool video that's going to come up probably end of January. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to streamline the whole process where I'm making videos, but I don't want to bore you guys with the details. I'm just want to tell you that I'm working on some cool videos, I'm working on some cool shit, and it's going to be entertaining. Nice to watch. The LTN says, looking forward to seeing your videos. Thank you, LTN. You guys want to try a social experiment? Okay, it's still raining a little bit, but it's more okay. Uriel says, sexy accent. Thank you if you're saying for me. I don't know who you're saying for, Uriel Jr., but thank you. Whew. So I have a question for people in the chat. All you people watching.
Hey, why are you standing in the rain?
I'm just doing a social experiment, trying to get people. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'll just turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
That's weird.
Why?
Well, no, we are vegetarians, so.
You're vegetarians.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Why are you vegetarians?
Mostly because of the way how animals are being treated, in mass farming animals. I mean, just think about it. That these animals are grown just to die. It's like.
Yeah, it's wrong, right?
It's so fucking crazy.
Do you think that do you consume any animal products like cheese, like milk, like
Well,
eggs?
that I do.
Yeah. Do you think there's some abuse behind cheese and eggs?
I mean, it's coming from the same. It's coming from the same animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, do you know anything about the dairy industry? Like, what happens to cows for milk?
No.
So, do you know why cows produce milk?
Do I know what?
Why cows produce milk?
Oh yeah, for the
babies. Yeah. You're one step ahead of me. I didn't know. When I found out, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, you don't think about it.
No, because we just think that they eat grass and they produce milk.
Yeah.
So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them. Literally, somebody puts their hands in their anus, hold their cervix to injectable semen in their vagina. And after the babies are born, what do you think happens to the babies?
They eat them as kebab.
Well, the first thing that happens is they separate them from their mothers.
Yeah.
Because they would drink the milk.
Yeah.
And they have to sell the milk, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
can't drink the milk. And if they're born male, yes, they don't produce milk, so they get killed. And for food, for clothing.
Yeah.
And if they're born female, year-over-year forceful impregnation, just like their mothers, for 6 to 8 years, after which they can no longer be impregnated with ease. And then the farmer sends them to a slaughterhouse or kills them themselves. And they can live up to 25 years. So, given all this, do you
Wow.
think there's any difference between producing meat or raising an animal for meat or raising them for dairy or eggs?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Right? So, I used to be vegetarian also, by the way. And I switched to being vegan because being vegan is not a diet. It just literally means we oppose the cruelty towards animals, the abuse towards animals.
Yeah.
And the only way to truly do that is also not just by saying it, but also by acting it, right?
True.
Because when we buy animal products like cheese, like milk, we support this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What do you feel you want to do going forward? Learning about this milk thing, for example.
It's a new year. So I think I would hope that there's ways, at least for dairy products, to be more like organic or like happy cow.
Oh, what I described happens. I saw it in my grandma's backyard. I come from Romania. And what I saw it in my grandma's yard. So
Yeah.
it happens.
And that is
biological
organic.
Farms. Organic, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, sadly, whenever we need to get something from an animal, we will cut corners and use the animals however we want, because we can justify it, especially for money.
They don't talk.
They don't talk, right? So we
Yeah.
say.
And how come you study that?
Say it again.
How come you study that topic?
So I went online. I wanted to find debates, and I found vegan debates, and I was like, okay, entrenched on the whole topic. And at some point, at all this time, what I was thinking is that, yeah, okay, sometimes it happens, but that's not what I pay for, right?
Yeah.
And somebody said something like, well, that is actually what you're paying for, because that's when you go to a supermarket, you give your money, and that's what happens in the back end. And I'm like, oh shit, I never thought about it. So then I couldn't find any justification to continue doing it, so I decided to stop. Do you think that, what do you think about it?
I will definitely reflect upon it.
Yeah.
I will definitely and probably do more research upon it.
Yeah,
and try convince my wife. She's also vegetarian.
Yeah, and of course I can give you several resources that will help you on your way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is that for?
I don't know what this
Casa
for.
Fantastica.
Casa Fantastica.
Okay.
I guess I don't know what that is for. And of course, like you have to reflect and you have to look into it. But I think that while you're reflecting and looking into it, don't you think it's important that you don't support these industries anymore? Because even if you buy one animal product, down the road, one animal goes into a slaughterhouse.
I think animal products are a very weird concept, you know.
Yeah.
But for instance, I do know hunters, and I find actually quite I find it quite like, here's something for you to think about. Like when I tell a vegetarian or a vegan that other people go hunt, eat their meat, they go like, "Wow, you can't kill an animal." Like especially vegetarians specifically. Vegan, I think, are a little bit smarter, but the vegetarians go like, "Oh, how can you like this person? He's a hunter." Well, he does a lot less harm than the vegetarian doing all the dairy stuff from the supermarket.
Yeah,
You know
to
what I
some
mean?
extent, yeah. But it's also like,
They take an animal down, they put it in the freezer, they eat like 3 months of it.
so of course, like when we talk about like grades of ethics,
There's
right?
grades of ethics.
We can talk about grades, but like I would say, because if we say a man beating his wife every day is ethically bad, him beating his wife once a week is ethically less bad. So there are some grade to it. There's some grade to it, but it's still bad. It's still unethical,
Yeah.
right? So in the same sense, taking somebody's life for something that you don't really need is still unethical in my book, if you ask me. Of course, if you have to do it to survive, if you're in a situation where you're like, I'm on a deserted island and I'll die afterward, otherwise, I would still think it's unethical, but at least I justify it, right? Like we do all sorts of dumb shit when we're in situations of survival.
Yeah.
But that's
Is
not
that live?
Yeah.
It is live, yeah.
Oh, how many people are watching?
On TikTok or?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go.
How many
There.
people are watching?
113.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'll just ask you this one final question and let you be. How many more animals should be exploited for you before you make a change?
0.
0.
Yeah.
That means going vegan, huh?
Yeah.
Let me give you a card. Let me help you out. Where are you from?
We're living here around the corner.
Oh, okay, nice. I also live in Amsterdam. Where do you live here? Are you from here?
Live here, work here.
Live here, work
No,
here.
we're from Germany.
Oh, from Germany. Okay. Do you speak German?
Yeah, also.
Do you also speak German? Oh, okay. Then I'll give you some German flyers because I have some German flyers.
Oh, okay. What do you speak? German, English?
German and English. Oh, that's so cute. So I'll just give you one flyer. I think it's especially important if you have kids to teach them and to try to get them to be vegan, because reality is most people I speak to on the street, the biggest thing why they don't go vegan is because they say, I've been taught my whole life this way, you know. And I think we have a responsibility to not ingrain our children in the same thing that we have been ingrained
And
ourselves.
do you study do you study in Amsterdam, or what do you do?
So I'm 37. I don't study anymore. I'm a software engineer by day, and sometimes I do this to speak up for animals.
Okay. What kind of software do you do?
I'm a front-end engineer right now, but I do both front-end and back-end.
HTML5?
Yeah. But I do React, all of this kind of
all of
stuff.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Are you also a software engineer?
No,
or
no,
do you
no,
ask?
no. But I admire your skill.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we'll bring that home.
And-
it was very good talking to you.
You also have several resources there.
Yeah.
If you want something to watch, the most important speech you'll ever hear, it's a really good watch for you.
That's good.
You just have to scan this code or go on this website and
I
type
will.
that code.
I will.
And you have my social media there and
Thank you very
everything.
much.
And go vegan. No more
you
animals
next.
exploited. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
High five.
Are you gonna fist bump me? Oh, high five. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
work, yeah.
Have a good one. There was some water on the lens earlier. It looked kind of weird. Props to this dude for having constructive conversations. Yeah, that's what we want, huh? Everybody wants to have constructive conversations, believe it or not, even if we don't always succeed. James says, amazing convo. Thank you, James. Thank you for being here, James. You also did the same thing. You also have amazing conversations. Six says, I wrote a paper in college on the increasing violent crimes committed in by slaughterhouse workers. Six, that is a very good point that you bring up. You know, slaughterhouse workers, they suffer from PTSD and all sorts of mental issues because they see blood every day. They see gore. They see killing of innocent beings who cry out loud. In fact, did you have a question, Chip? Did I have a question? I forgot. I forgot about it now. If I did have a question. In fact, I saw it in a expose about slaughterhouse workers. They were interviewing one of the people, and they said that, for example, an animal that was about to go into slaughter, if they don't like they use a bolt gun, you know, to the head. Let's say a cow, they use a bolt gun to the head, and if they wake up, the standard procedure is that they have to take them and put them back in line. So imagine being an animal who wakes up, sees that they're about to get slaughtered, sees all the blood, smells it, and then he gets put back in line only to wait for their death again. That is messed up on a whole nother level. So yeah, it's, you know, that's just the thing, but that's not the only problem with it, right? Like, slaughterhouses are messed up in all sorts of ways, but that's not the only problem. The other problem is also enslaving, raising animals only for the purpose of using them, of enslaving them. We all deserve, you know, we all deserve freedom. We all deserve to live and pursue happiness. Six, you're a member. Thank you so much, Six. Man, you donated and you're a member. When I say man, I don't necessarily mean gender, by the way. And everybody else, by the way, if you're not already subscribed, come on, hit that subscribe. We gotta have these conversations. It rains, it's sunny now. There you go. What do you want? Would you prefer 1 million people get slaughtered or 1 million animals? Has did that choice. I don't think that is fair. None of the choices are better. There isn't one choice better than the other. I think every individual within that 1 million animals and within that 1 million people deserves to live equally, because we all have an intrinsic value. We all are born with intrinsic value. Okay, microphone. Can you guys hear me now? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Audio is okay. Yeah, I think the water got to it a little bit. I don't know how long we should push it anymore. If it starts raining again, we'll finish it. But if you guys can hear me okay right now, that's okay. As I was saying, everybody has intrinsic value. The thing is, vegans and non-vegans in the argument are both using logical fallacies a lot here due to emotion in the debate, says Thomas Pickin. Thomas Pickin, I welcome a conversation. If you want to have a conversation with me, if you want to debate me, I welcome you. Please contact me on Instagram. My handle is RealChipGuy. We can schedule a debate. We can schedule a conversation, whatever it is that you want to have. I am up for it. Can you repeat your answer about 1 million people or animals, asks John Jones. Yes, John Jones. So 1 million people versus 1 million animals. That's what you asked me. I don't think there is either of the choices. I would just choose randomly, because the reality is everybody, every individual within those 1 million people or 1 million animals deserve to live equally. They all have intrinsic value. We all have intrinsic value. We are all born with value. We are all born with life and the desire to live, the desire to pursue happiness. We all have that. Just because some of us are more intelligent than others, just because more are aware of some things than others, does not mean we have more intrinsic value than others. We all value our life equally, therefore we all deserve to live equally. So there you go. I hope that sort of answers your question. Sure, I've got exams at the moment, says Thomas Picken, but at some point, okay, Thomas Picken, whenever you can, whenever you want to, you can even, like, I would argue that if you want, just contact me on Instagram so that we can schedule something that works for you. And something, when I mean schedule, I don't mean like we can put a date even in 1 month, maybe, you know, something like that. Just, again, something that works. Because I also, as I said, I work, I have other things to do, so just like you, we all have our lives. Some tips on learning React to actually landing a job as a front-end, mostly a web developer, asks Samarth Goel. Some tips. I would, wait, first of all, 6 asks, are you on Twitter? I'm not on Twitter. Thomas Picken asks, what's your Instagram again? My Instagram handle is realchipguy. It's like my YouTube handle is thatchipguy. My Instagram handle is realchipguy. Some tips about, you guys want to try a social experiment? My tips on learning React, be thorough about it, don't cut corners, and look into details, make great products. You make great products by looking at details and caring for details, as in don't ignore small things, learn how to do the small things, learn how to do the big things, you know. Sometimes some things are nice, some things are not nice. And the most important, I think the 100% the most important advice I can give you as a software engineer, respect standards. Standards are way more important than anything else. And if somebody gives you a design that where you're like, I don't know what the standard is, you can always mutate the design or discuss with the designer. Maybe you can achieve some common place where it's both standard for you and works for them. But that's it. No more coding talk. I'm not here to talk about coding. It's a shame we even have to argue for life in modern age of knowledge. We should be able to know what is ethical and what is not, says Rowe. Exactly, very well put. What you say on the avocado controversy as a vegan? Avocado controversy. There's no avocado controversy. There's obviously, you know, whenever we are producing anything, right? Whether that is food, whether that is clothing, whether that is whatever it is that we're producing, vegetables, clothing, metal, there is some form of exploitation and abuse behind it, sadly. What you as an individual have an obligation is to document yourself. Hi.
Bonjour, je parle français.
Only English, sorry. Je ne parle pas français.
Vous ne parlez pas français?
No, je parlais anglais. Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, I speak
Okay,
English
perfect.
too.
What's your name?
I'm Audrey.
Audrey?
Audrey,
Audrey,
yes.
I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I would ask where you're from, but I'm assuming France?
Yes, I'm from France,
Okay.
from Paris.
So I'm going to turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
No, at
Why
all.
not?
Because these are animals. They are friends. They don't have to be abused.
What if they're not our friends? What if they're just random animals?
No, they are not. If they are random animals, then we are random humans too. So.
Okay.
we
So
have
they're
to-
very much like us in a sense.
Yes,
they don't deserve to
in
be
a
abused.
sense,
Okay. How would you define abuse?
Abuse is the disrespect of the rights, the disrespect of our rights too. So this is abuse for me.
I like
And
that.
violence.
I love it how you phrase it. So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs?
Yeah.
What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Sorry, I don't understand.
So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs,
Yes,
right?
of course it's wrong.
What about cows, chickens, and pigs? Is it wrong to abuse them?
chickens, pigs,
Yeah.
cats, dog, every
Cows?
animals, cows, every
Yeah.
animal.
Do you consume any animal products?
Yes, I consume.
Do you think that behind these animal products there is abuse happening?
I don't know really because I don't. I only go to the supermarket and I buy some meat, but I don't know how these animals are treated behind. So
But do you think they are killed?
yes, of course they are.
Is that
killed.
violent?
Yes, I think
Is
it's
that not
violent.
respecting the right to live?
I think so.
So it is abusive.
Yes, it is abusive.
So do you think you can maintain your status of being against animal abuse when you're buying animal products?
Ah, I was unexpecting of this question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to go now,
Yeah.
but I support your cause and
How do you support my cause?
oh. Thank you very much for having me. Nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
Like, I'm just speaking on behalf of animals, and I understand it's a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
It is, and I understand that. Just and of course, I cannot keep you from going. Just keep in mind that while you are free to go, all of the animals that you
They
pay
are
to be
not.
abused, they are not free to go. They are forced in these situations. They are not free to go. They are not free to do anything and don't have any rights.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So, I just all I want is for you to consider this, and I can ask you, do you want to continue supporting this?
Let me just think about it.
Okay. Can I give you a card to look into it? Only if
why
you
not?
promise me to look into it. Because if I just give it to you, I don't want. No. Okay. Okay.
Thank
But
you very
then you're not against animal abuse. I'm sorry to tell you this. Because you only say you are, but your actions say otherwise.
Au revoir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes, we get that. Sometimes we get that. Some people, they make a claim that they're against animal abuse. They say, I love that. She said exactly what abuse is. And the minute I confronted her, she realized that it's wrong, and she ran away. And she didn't even run a card, you saw. Polar Fleece says, dude, you're a power lifter, lol. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be a power lifter, I'm 37 at the end of the day. I started powerlifting, a year ago? Maybe a year, maybe two, I don't know. So I'm still learning. I'm pretty good with bench press. My bench press is pretty good, actually. My deadlift is not so good. I think because of my physiognomy. I would be better suited for sumo deadlift, but I don't like sumo, so I do conventional. And squat is okay. So yeah, I do some powerlifting. Ro asks, dog, do you eat chocolate? Yes, of course. There's vegan chocolate. It's delicious. James Bailey says, bro, bacon, egg, sausage all taste great. I never debated that they don't. I just think there's animal abuse behind that, and you gotta ask yourself, are you supporting that? Yes, you are. Just for your own taste? Sure. You're pretty much abusing animals for pleasure then. You guys wanna try?
What's this social experiment?
It's about our relationship with animals. You wanna give it a try?
Yeah.
Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel? Yeah. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna. Can you come a little bit closer, Anna, so that you're in view? I don't bite. I'll stay a little bit. I'll respect your. I'll respect your space. That's what I was going for. Okay, I'll just turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Legal,
Yeah.
and now I have to
Do you
convince.
think? Do you agree with it? First of all,
No,
why not?
because why should it be legal?
I benefit from abusing animals.
But they cannot go away.
No, they cannot run away. No.
Yeah,
No. So what I like to do
so
is
that's unfair.
what I like to do is I take a dog, I keep them by their leg, and I punch them to death.
These are like the most dog-loving persons, so they're
Is
like,
that wrong?
yeah,
Why is it wrong?
because like he cannot say stop, don't do this to me.
But I get benefit from it. I exercise.
Yeah, but you also won't like hurt a person, and then although you get benefit from it, that's
Okay.
illegal.
Okay. So then it would be wrong to do that to dogs, obviously, right?
Yes.
What about if we did that to cows? Would that be okay?
To what?
To cows.
No.
No. And what if we do the same thing to cows but for food?
Well, that is legal.
That is legal, but would it be okay?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, yeah. Do you consume any animal products?
Pardon?
Do you consume any animal products?
Yes.
Do you think that between your consumption of animal products there is some inherent abuse happening?
In what?
Do you think behind animal products, like behind cheese, behind milk, behind eggs, behind meat, there is some inherent animal abuse happening?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you a farmer?
Say that again?
Are you a farmer?
I'm not a farmer, no.
You're not a farmer, so
No.
you don't know what's going on then, no?
Oh, I do. My grandma was a farmer, yeah.
Okay, so was she abusing them?
Yeah, to some extent, yes.
Yeah. Different countries. Where are you from?
Germany.
You're from Germany. I'm from Ireland.
Yeah.
Different. Are they free range? Were they free range?
Well, my grandma was raising her cow free range, yes.
Yeah.
But she was still forcefully impregnating her.
Forcibly breeding.
Yeah.
Different countries.
Oh, well, you don't use artificial insemination?
No.
No? Okay, what happens to the babies for you?
Huh?
What happens to the
They're
babies?
free range as well.
Okay, and when do they get killed?
Huh?
When do they get killed?
When they're about 2-3 years older.
Oh, and how long can they live?
I have no idea.
24.
24.
Yeah.
But they're breed for that. But
Oh,
the
so if we
adults is-
breed the animal, if I breed a dog for the purpose of me punching it to death, it's okay.
What did the dog do to you?
What did the cow do to you to kill them?
But that's breeding for a different assumption.
Yeah, so I breed the dogs specifically to work out. I breed them so that I can kill them to work
You
out.
have other ways to work out, don't you?
You have other ways to eat, don't you?
Yeah, but are you vegetarian?
I'm vegan.
You're vegan.
Yeah.
Okay, so why are you giving out about it then?
Say that again?
That's your opinion. It's
Is
my
it-
opinion as well.
She said she's against animal abuse.
Yeah, animal abuse is different. Animal abuse.
So
animal
killing
abuse
an animal is not abusive.
But it's different than breeding for food.
So killing an animal is not abusive.
No, it's not. But it's for food.
Come here, come on.
No, I'm not being on your live stream.
No, you don't want to be on my life.
No,
But you
no.
want to you want to interrupt this discussion? I have it for her.
No, then she can go back to that.
Come on. Why? You have a point of view. Come on, tell me.
No, I'm not being on your live stream.
So you're not brave enough
I'll
to
stand
maintain.
here.
Oh, you can stand there.
I'll stand
Okay.
here, but you can
Okay.
go to them.
So tell me, what is it about killing an animal at 10% of their lifespan that you don't find abusive?
10%.
Well, you said you kill them at 2 years old and they can live up to 24. So that is way less than 10%. Yes.
But that's why they're breed for.
Okay. So if I breed any other animal for the
Dog
purpose
is a
of
pet.
killing.
A dog is a pet.
If
not
I
to be
breed
abused.
dogs for the sole purpose of killing them and eating them, would that be okay?
Do you eat dogs?
If I do that, would that be okay?
No, it wouldn't be. But
Okay.
it's a dog. It's different. It's a
So
pet.
what's the difference between a dog and a cow that justifies the difference in treatment?
Would you have a cow in your house?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you have 50 to 100 to 500?
The question is, what's the difference between a dog and a cat that justifies the difference in treatment?
It doesn't matter what the treatment is. You love and care for a dog and a cat. Cows, sheep, chickens, everything. You have different stuff for it.
So from
You-
what
do
is
you-
the
do-
difference
do you eat-
between
do
a
you eat
cat and the?
jellies? Do you eat sweets?
No,
Do you eat chocolate?
no.
No.
I
No
eat chocolate, but I eat vegan chocolate.
Vegan chocolate. Yeah. So what's the difference in that?
There's no animal being abused.
Yeah, but it's not being abused. It's killed harmfully. No, unharmfully. Sorry.
Come on,
No,
man.
I'm dyslexic. I guess I have a story as well.
I'm not
Right?
saying about
But
that. I'm just saying, do
unharmfully.
you really think they're being killed harmfully? Come on, I mean, let's face it. Do you think killing somebody for the soul, regardless of what you get from it, is there any reason why you should kill somebody just because you can? Because that's the reality, right?
But there's
And
difference between a person and a cow.
do you think? Wait, would you call a
So you
would
said
you
you
call
kill
a
a
dog?
person.
No,
You
I
said
said
kill a
kill
person.
somebody.
Yeah,
Would you?
a body is a person.
Regardless, okay. Let's
body is a
not get
person.
let's not get stuck in the discussion.
No, but even at that, would you call a cow a body?
Yeah, I would call
Oh,
them a
yeah.
somebody because they have personalities, they have a will to live.
personality.
They're
How,
sentient.
how would they portray that personality then?
How would say that
How
again?
would they portray the personality?
They have preferences.
They have preferences. How would
Yeah,
you
they
tell?
have fears.
They have fears. How would
Yeah.
you know?
Because
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
sure
around
it's fine.
cows, yeah.
You've been around cows, so have
Yeah.
I. I've been around sheep as well.
Yeah.
So
I've been
I'm
around
scared
cows,
to fight
sheep, pigs,
Yeah,
chickens,
yeah,
yeah.
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 The f-
So they all have personalities,
How
yeah.
would you know that then?
Because you can see it. They're all
You can see it.
different, yeah. Do you not see the personalities in cows?
No.
No?
'Cause I don't
Well,
do
at
cows.
least,
I
at
do-
least we can trust the science that says that they are sentient, that they have a subjective experience, and they have emotions. Pigs are, are just as intelligent as dogs.
So is
They're
dolphins.
actually more intelligent.
So is
So,
dolphins. Dolphins
do you
are
kill
more
pigs?
explicit than us.
Do you kill pigs?
Yeah, because I enjoy it.
Do you kill dogs?
No, obviously not.
No, so there you go. You have a
'Cause
double
I-
standard.
but I've rescued
Just
a dog.
because you were born
I've rescued a dog as well.
doesn't really matter if you're going to kill
From
other
abusive.
animals.
I've I've rescued a dog from abusive families.
So what you're
which
saying-
I've been legally told not to have.
So you
pets.
imagine an animal. If an animal is born a dog, they deserve rescue from you. If an animal is born a pig, they deserve
But they're
their
breed
throat
for
being
that.
cut, right?
They're breed
because
for that.
just because they're born that way. Yeah, but they don't decide to be bred for that. They never decided. They never
But how do you
consented
know?
to being brought to life for
alright,
that.
So say you just say genders, all right?
Yeah.
You identify as a female, yeah?
No, I identify as a male.
identify
I
as a
actually
male, yeah.
identify as non-binary, but whatever.
Non-binary. All right. So like, you have that opinion. I don't need to follow that. Yes.
What does that matter? You're not.
But
You're not
how do you say?
slashing my throat.
But how do you say
Who
a
cares
cow
about
or a
that?
pig has fears or identifies?
Because there's science behind it.
But you show me a science that a cow
There's the
identifies
declaration-
male or female,
But
right?
that doesn't matter. There's a declaration of sentience. They are
Yeah.
sentient. They're just as sentient as dogs are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But then
with
they're-
your
yeah, they're-
differentiation between them is strictly your own bias. It's your own bias. It's because you've been taught that cows deserve to be killed and dogs deserve to be loved. But there's no difference from their perspective. They all feel similar things. In fact, cows play fetch. Have you seen cows playing fetch?
I haven't, no.
You can throw cows ball and they bring it back. I have seen that happen.
That's after training, yeah.
Well, that's
You
not
won't do
after
that to
training. That's literally cows want to play too. Just like all animals in nature, they want to play because they're sentient. They have a subjective experience of the world, just like dogs do. There is no difference between them. And like, I'm not coming at this on trying to, what do you call it? I'm not trying to be contradictory to you or any other way. I'm just telling you the reality. That is the science behind it. There's the Declaration of Consciousness from Cambridge, the Declaration of Consciousness, and there's the New York Declaration of Consciousness. Both of them acknowledge that all these animals are sentient and their level of sentience is just as ours. Just as ours. So how can we justify forcing them into slaughterhouses when we don't need to? Because we can choose other products.
I know, I've tried vegan and vegetarian meat. All right, it's nice. I've tried it. Yes, it's nice.
So then
and
why not choose that?
more protein in it.
But you can get protein from other sources. I'm a power lifter. I literally train to power lift every day. I get 250 grams of protein on a plant-based diet. Like, let me ask you this: if you find a way to get
But-
all the
but-
protein that you need,
But
do you
what's-
think
what's-
it's important?
But how
that-
much do you actually have to eat then?
What do you mean?
How much? All right, so say you have a 10-ounce steak, right?
Yeah.
Compared to what?
Doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how much protein you get from one particular meal. What matters is how much protein you get throughout the day, and you can get all the necessary protein that you need from plant-based products.
But all right, so you have plant-based products, right?
Yeah.
How much do you eat then today?
How much did I eat today?
Yeah. How much would you eat?
Like
of it?
calorie-wise, you
Yeah.
mean? Or I don't know, 3,500 calories.
Yeah. All right. You would get that from one meal.
No, I get it from 4 meals.
You get that from it, but I
Yeah.
would get that from one meal.
I can also get it from 1 meal. I just choose to get it from 4 meals. What do you mean? It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
and that's your opinion.
It's not my opinion. This is science again.
Yeah.
The
But why,
science-
like, why do you?
I'm
why would
actually
you say?
studying to be a certified nutritionist, and I can tell you that there's
Yeah.
nothing that we cannot get from plant-based products that we cannot get from animals that we can't get from plant-based
One second,
products.
Give me a second.
Yeah. It's cold. Chase says 3,500 calories in one meal. Yeah, 3,500 calories in one meal. I actually do that sometimes, Chase. I have OMAD, 1 meal a day. I have it. Hi.
What's your social experiment?
He's gonna come back
Oh,
though.
he's
But
gonna come back?
but
Okay.
did you girls hear anything I've been talking to him about?
I vaguely heard some stuff, but that's
Yeah.
what kind of made me curious with a social experiment.
Can you come? Do you want to be in view? I'm live on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Sure, I can be in view.
Yeah. So my social experiment is I'm trying to get people to think about their connection to animals.
Okay.
Can you come a little bit closer? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Sarah.
Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm
Nice
Chip.
to meet you.
So I'm turn this around, and it says animal abuse should be legal.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? That
I
it should
don't-
be legal.
No, I don't think anyone should abuse an animal. No.
Can I ask why? Is it that you think that?
For me, I would go to you can't abuse an animal because I don't believe in mistreating anything. So, like, even a plant. I think in some ways, quote unquote, you could abuse a plant, so to speak. Like, I don't think anything should be mistreated beyond what it was created for. And I believe everything was created for a purpose and a reason.
What if I create an animal to abuse them?
Then I would say it wouldn't be abuse because it'd be being used as you'd have to define abuse in that situation.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
I take a dog.
Yeah.
I breed dogs. I breed dogs.
Totally.
I hang them by their feet.
Yeah.
And I kill one every day by punching them to death so
Yeah.
that I get exercise.
I would argue that the dog was not created for that purpose.
Well, I create them for that purpose.
But for me, the creator is God. As a Christian, I believe that God created each animal and each plant for a purpose and for a reason. And if I base it off of that, then he created each thing to show his beauty and his glory, and he created each thing for a purpose and for a reason.
Okay.
And in part of that is for our enjoyment.
So you think animals are here for us?
I think animals are, in a way, here for us. Yeah.
Okay.
As
But
us
how can
being
that
able
be
to
when
take care
I
of
think
them.
God created animals before they created humans? How can animals be created for us if he created animals before humans?
Because he had a plan beforehand. So when he created the world, he created it in 6 days, rested on the seventh, and he had a plan since that beginning time. We see that as a pretty clear beginning part of Genesis.
So if I believe that God created some animals for me to abuse, would that be okay to abuse them?
You'd have to define abuse. And I say that not because I'm trying to get around the sticky situation. or
Exploiting
anything.
them, killing them,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, and God didn't create animals to be killed. Unfortunately, as part of sin entering the world, and which is why we need Christ as a savior, and which is why we need to be very careful about all this, is death came into the world when sin came into the world. And that is an unfortunate reality of the world that we live in. And with that, we see God at the beginning. Then once Adam and Eve realized that sin was around them, once Adam and Eve realized that they were naked, we actually see that God gave them animal skins to be clothed.
So let me ask you this way.
Yeah.
Do you think that some animals God put on this earth for us to
Yeah.
kill them and use them as food or as clothing, right?
I do. I do not think that that was
His purpose.
perfect. Like in the Garden of Eden, it says that the leopard shall lie down with the lamb. I believe
Yeah.
it was the leopard with the lamb.
So do you think that God is compassionate?
Oh, absolutely.
So why would God then give animals the capability to feel pain only to put them on earth so that we can kill them?
Yeah.
Like he can clearly make individuals, he can clearly make life without pain, right? Like plants don't feel pain. So
Well,
he can
plants do actually feel pain.
Well, not science.
They've-
That's not what science says. But regardless,
But it is what science says.
It's not. It's not.
It
It's
is. They've actually done research now that
but then can
plants
you
can
tell me
actually end up interacting with each other of the same species.
That just means they communicate, not that they feel pain.
For sure. But then you also have to define what feeling pain is,
It's
right?
having pain receptors, a brain, a
Okay.
subjective experience, an emotional reaction. And when pain isn't just about the knee-jerk reaction of somebody, because plants, of course, some of plants have that,
Yeah,
right? It's not about
absolutely.
their knee-jerk reaction, but it's
Yeah.
also about the emotional reaction afterwards. Like, for
Mhm.
example, if you know that touching a pole is hot and you
Yeah.
touch it, the next time your brain tells that you have an emotional reaction and therefore you avoid touching it the second
Yeah,
time because
absolutely.
you know you felt pain.
Well,
so that's what
hopefully
pain does.
anyways.
Yeah, plants don't have that, whereas animals and
Mhm.
we do have that.
And that's why
So
I
how
wanted
can-
you to define it, for sure.
So how can we say that God created animals this way?
Yeah.
Like to feel pain, to have emotions, to be subject of their own universe, only so that we can kill them and take their life at a fraction of their lifespan.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like going back to the Garden of Eden, God created animals for us to be enjoyment of them, not initially for us to eat them or anything like that. We were told that every fruit in the garden except for the apple of the tree was to be eaten of them, and we have no description of eating animals before sin entered the world.
So is it a
Just-
sin to eat animals?
I would say no, because that is
So
an
God says
unfortunate.
so God says again,
Yeah.
these animals are created for you to eat.
He did not initially create them for us to eat them, just like he did not initially create us
How
to
do you
harm
justify it
individuals.
eating them today then?
How do I justify it? Because Leviticus gives us rules and laws of how to eat those animals, and I actually pretty much follow those.
So you believe that
Yeah.
in your own religion it says
Mhm.
that your God says that it's okay to kill sentient beings regardless of their sentience, if they have emotions or not, at a
Mhm.
fraction of their lifespan, to
Yeah.
use them however you please because you get some form of nutrition, and even if you have alternatives, right? Like you think that God said, hey, there's a lamb over here, okay? There's a plant-based version of whatever it is you want to eat here,
Mhm.
but God said, you know what? Put a knife to their throat and eat some of it, throw away some of it, doesn't really matter. the fact that you kill that animal is perfectly justified, even if you have other options.
Yeah. I will give a little bit of my background before I answer this. I do have a bachelor's degree in biology and in chemistry, and I've taken food science courses as well. And if we were to go to a point in our society, even as a whole, ignoring a lot of political or anything like that, if we go purely at the nutritions found within plants, we actually can't get all of our nutrients
What
from it.
nutrients is it that we
are
can't get?
actually missing vitamin B12. That has to be supplemented.
Where is vitamin
into
B12 getting from?
We get it from animals, actually.
Where do they get it from?
Animals have enzymes within their body that can end up producing those, whereas we lack those enzymes.
Would you be surprised that the vitamin B12, those enzymes that the cows have, for example, they get it from certain foods that they're not actually fed those, and the reality is that most animals are actually given B12 supplement. And either way, you can take a B12 supplement either way. You don't have to get it from animals. And there are plants who have B12. There are certain what do you call it? There's the nooch. I forgot what it's saying. Like.
Are you thinking the nutritional yeast?
Yeah, nutritional yeast has
so
B12.
That's artificially added into nutritional yeast.
There you go. So, but it has B12.
Totally. But so the argument that we're getting is to not eat sentient
Beings.
Animals, which
But to
I
not
definitely.
exploit. I'm just against exploitation of sentient beings.
Totally. I agree with that. I don't actually view. So the Bible says that we are made in God's image, and with that, we're actually different from the animals. And
But the Bible doesn't say you need to eat animals. Doesn't say you have to eat animals. The Bible literally says you should show compassion. How are you showing compassion towards an animal? And it also says thou shalt not kill. How are you thou shalt not killing?
It
or
doesn't
showing
actually
compassion?
say thou shalt not kill. It says
Isn't
thou
it one
shalt
of the
not murder.
Thou shalt not murder. Isn't it murder when you take somebody's life for something that you don't need?
But I would argue that
Just for your own taste pleasure, because that's what it is, right? Or
Yeah,
convenience.
totally.
What is it that if you
So-
can get nutrition and
yeah.
everything you need from plants, why is it
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
need to kill an animal?
So, like we said, the B12 actually isn't in the plants.
But
we
you can
do
supplement
need it, and we can supplement it.
So you don't need it.
But what we end up having to do is we have to manufacture that in labs. And if you don't want anyone
B12?
eating, yeah, it has
It's manufactured in factories just like
yeah,
any
in
other
laboratories.
spices,
Yeah,
anything
that's
else.
what I just said.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to have that, that may work in the Western cultures, but that most definitely
How do you justify it? You live in a Western culture,
yeah,
not
how do I
everybody
justify
else.
it?
yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the point that I'm going to get to, is if it is bad for us to do it, we should also be doing everything we can in the other cultures to prevent that from happening. But at least in the meantime, a lot of people from other cultures don't even have the food that they need. So do you think that because they can't get the B12, because I think as humans, if we want to apply it to one spot, we should apply it to others. And I'm not necessarily justifying
Yeah,
myself.
but we shouldn't be like going towards the nirvana
No.
fallacy. If nobody can do it, I won't do it, right?
No,
this
and I
isn't
agree
the
with
case.
that.
Like,
I'd agree with that.
We should be saying, hey, in fact, we as individuals who live in a civilized world, as you well, not civilized. I'm sorry, that's a bit prerogative to call the other places not civilized. But we live in a Western world where we have alternatives, where we have choices. We have even more of an obligation to pick the alternatives and choices so that they become more readily available everywhere else, so that they drop in price because of capitalism. That's how it works, right?
Oh, yeah.
The more demand for
Well,
it is for one product,
yeah.
the supply will become better,
Yeah.
and so therefore, in all these situations where there's people who are starving in food deserts or whatever, we have even more of a responsibility so that they don't exploit animals, so they don't feel bad about what they're doing, so that they don't we don't put them in these positions, that we don't do it ourselves, so that they don't have to do it. Right?
No, absolutely. And just in that sense, the point that I was getting at, which you did actually answer, is just that aspect of, which I respect your answer of that
Yeah.
we do it ourselves so that we can enable them to do that. But would you, at the same time, would you end up, how do I want to word this? I don't know how to word it such that it makes sense. I know what I'm going to try to say, but I know that it's not going to make
I'm
sense
not
when
going
I
to use
say
it again. I hope
No.
I'll try not to. I'll try not
No,
to use
you're
it
very
again sometime.
respectful,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
I really
yeah.
appreciate how you talk. But anyways, one of my major points to it, I'm going to skip that point because I don't want to say it without saying it how I want it to sound.
It's your choice.
But going back to one of my points is, what do you define as sentience? Because you and I would probably disagree on that, which is why I would probably...
I appreciate it. How do you define sentience? And I'll explain how. Like there's plenty definitions of sentience, and I'll tell you what matters to me, but please tell me what you define as sentience.
What I would define as sentience is the ability to be self-aware.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And I would say that's also the most important part of sentience that I agree with, right? So animals are self-aware. Cows are self-aware. There's a Declaration of Sentience by Cambridge and the Declaration of Sentience by New York. And there's plenty of studies,
And do you know how those
sadly done
studies
on
were done?
animals. Yeah, I've looked into it. And
Okay.
Would
you be able to give me the sources for those?
I mean, if you start with the the Cambridge Declaration of Sentience and the New York Declaration of Sentience, you can go from there, and they have all the sources on how they based that, all of that. But the fact, I believe what the one mirror is the one test is the mirror test, right? To see of self-consciousness. I believe that's an incomplete test anyway, because not everybody bases their awareness on sight mostly, right? Like I would argue perhaps dogs, I don't know if dogs pass the mirror test or not, but dogs, we acknowledge that they're self-aware, and they probably, if there were a mirror like for smell, because I think most of their awareness is based on smell. If there were such a thing as a mirror that replicates smell back at them, they would probably be aware. Like probably when they sniff their own ass, they know it's them. That's what I mean.
I know what you were trying to say.
Even if
yeah.
there were to be a wall behind it somehow, and they could smell their ass, they would know that it's them.
Yeah. No, anytime I've at least, because I've seen some of those studies, anytime I've at least seen some of those studies, I haven't actually seen their controls to be adequate enough to be able to justify what they're saying. And that's why I was curious about your sources.
Of course,
just because, at least for me as a scientist, I even have a research paper to be published soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyways. Fingers crossed. As a scientist, I see some of those, at least the ones that I've seen and read, and I would say that their controls were not adequate. They actually...
I mean, I don't think you can even have controls for a lot of them, right? Like, I think these kind of studies are not necessarily controlled studies, because it's not like... I believe what they do most of the times to get to these conclusions is that they do certain things to animals, and they acknowledge behaviors, and they derive from those behaviors, right? I have no way of knowing if you're conscious, for example, right? Like I only derive it based on your behavior and based on what you do. So that's what they do also to those animals. They make derivations, implications from their behavior, from their normal behavior and from their behavior after they've been, I don't know, maybe hit, maybe whatever it is, right? Like.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I would have to disagree with your claim that science says that they're sentient.
Well, the Declaration of Consciousness is made by Nobel laureates. All of this, like it's established.
Which Nobel laureates?
I have no clue, but it's established. It's not like new thing. It's been established for at least 10 or 20 years. Sorry. I'm thinking about the 80s and 90s, so that's maybe 30 years already. Jesus Christ. 35 years now that these animals are sentient. And I believe that you wouldn't debate me whether an animal is sentient or not when it comes to dogs or cats.
Oh, I don't think they're sentient, actually.
You don't think dogs or cats are sentient?
No, I don't. And that's part of, like, because I believe one of the most important things within someone's belief is being consistent. And I do actually think that there's maybe varying levels of consciousness, but I would not declare them as sentient. I would say that the only individuals that are sentient would be human beings.
Oh, that's definitely not true. Like, there's plenty of sentience out there to go around. Maybe what you're talking about is sapiens, not sentience?
No, not sapiens, but sentience.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where...
but there's even a study about how animals learn, think, the same as humans. They have slow thinking and fast thinking. I think the study itself is called slow thinking and fast thinking in animals, and they have just because they have, of course, some animals have smaller brains than us, and of course their capacity for memory and for all of this is diminished, but they still learn the same way we do. They even have tasks that they learn fast, and they learn some tasks that they learn and behave fast thinking or slow thinking, or even ultra slow thinking. And ultra slow thinking was defined as how we define college, where you're like taking one thing in particular and dissecting it into years of study.
Absolutely. And for me, that's where different levels of consciousness come into place and not sentience. Because learning comes through neural pathways and comes through being able to form those connections, and those connections strengthen and they get faster because of those strengthening, and you get that by repetition, and you get that by synaptic pruning, and you get all of that kind of stuff, right? So with regards to learning is actually, to me, not a perfect way of being able to describe sentience, because there's also
it's not.
like I would definitely not use it for that period,
No, I
because
guess I
there's
was
people
just,
with very major learning disabilities, like human beings.
I love that you said that. No,
Yeah,
I
right?
guess I
So-
just use it more or less than to kind of show a connection between how we are and how they are. But like, let me ask you this, because maybe our definitions of sentience are a little bit different, or maybe our definition of consciousness, because you say they have consciousness but they're not sentient, which I think they're kind of the same thing. So do you think that all of these animals are subjects of their own universe, just like we are subjects of our own universe?
No, I don't.
You don't? You
No.
don't think they have a subjective experience of the world?
I think that they have a subjective experience of the world, but I don't think they are the subjects of their own universe, if that makes sense. Like, and obviously this is a silly quote, but I'm going to use the quote so you understand what I'm saying. I think, therefore I am. And obviously there's much more behind what that philosopher was saying, and I actually disagree with his end thing, but just to understand, I don't think that animals can go, I'm going to do this today, because
But they do have preferences, right? I mean, animals do different things, and they have choices, they have preferences, and they have personalities. So how would you say that they don't have, I'm gonna do this today? Just because they don't say, I'm gonna do this today, but they behave as such. Like literally, I had a dog who one day wanted to go out, one day didn't want to go out. It's literally,
absolutely.
that's a preference. That's not a mechanistic thing. It's literally their preference.
It is their preference. I've seen that in my own dog. She would get up in the morning, she would sniff the air, because I'm from Canada. She'd sniff the air, realize it's minus 40 outside, turn back around, and she wouldn't leave the house that day.
So they still have preferences, right?
Yeah,
so
but I wouldn't say that preferences are a measure of sentience. I wouldn't say that.
But this does say that they're subject of their own world, because it does say, I don't want to go now. It does say they have preferences for themselves. Doesn't that make them subject of their own universe?
No, I would say just like with us touching a hot stove. We can touch that hot stove, and before our receptors for pain even get to our brain, it goes to our spinal cord first, and we react without even actually consciously thinking about it, and then the pain gets to our brain afterwards. We have those reflex arcs. And I believe, although that is not a reflex arc by definition, I believe that is, in a way, what is happening with that animal there.
You think they're just automatrons?
I don't think that they're automatrons, because an automatron doesn't even have any form of feeling, but I don't define some feeling as being a sentient being.
I don't know, like for me, what matters is the fact that they have a will, right? That's, I think, because when I say subjective experience, that's the part of subjective experience that matters the most. It's not just the observation. They do have observations, right? Like you said, they smell, they notice the temperature, they see around, but that's not the part that matters. What matters is the fact that based on everything that they observe, they make choices on what they want to do. And those aren't just choices for survival. They're literally, that's why animals play, because they need neurostimulation just like we do. That's like, they make choices based on their will, just like we make choices based on extremely complex things that we have in our brain, just like extremely complex things they have in their brains. So either way, like you mentioned people who are cognitively impaired, like there's cognitively impaired people who have cognitive abilities of dogs, of cats, or is there any
Mhm.
justification for putting them into slaughterhouses for
No,
something that is
absolutely not.
optional?
And that's where that was kind of the point that I was trying to make is I don't look at even just those I don't look at cognitive capabilities as a point of sentience. Obviously, they're sentient in the way that they think, kind of thing. Like
They
we
have
go with
emotions.
if we go with
They
that,
feel pain.
yeah,
they feel all this, right?
they have the serotonin, they have the dopamine, they
have
have all of
everything,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And if we go with sentient as the ability to think for oneself, because arguably that's the point that you're making with them being able to decide not
Yeah,
to
they
go
make
outside.
decisions for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we go by that definition, then in that case, I would have to agree that the animals shouldn't be eaten and killed,
Yeah.
if that's the final definition. But I would
I
not.
don't care about definitions.
Oh, totally.
Let's just put them. I'm
well,
like,
sorry, I'm saying definitions just to make sure that we're
Yeah.
on the same page and
I don't think
understanding
we.
each other.
I don't think
different.
we are on the same page about
No.
sentience. I
And
don't
that's-
think
yeah.
we can agree to something because
No.
maybe you have more knowledge than me. I don't have enough knowledge about this on the matter.
Mhm.
I just read for pleasure more than for
Mhm.
need, like you do for work. Let's
Yeah.
say. So, but my point being across, like we agreed on a lot of these qualities that animals possess.
Yeah.
Qualities that we ourselves appreciate in us and each others,
Mhm.
and it's qualities that aside from religion, it's qualities that keep us from doing bad things to others, right? The reason why I don't harm a person is because I would know they would feel the consequences of me harming them.
Mhm.
The same would be for animals, and the consequences of me harming them would be they would feel the pain, they would have an emotional reaction to
Mhm.
it, and they would have a bad time, which is negative emotions going on and whatnot.
Mhm.
So all animals would have the same thing. So
Mhm.
for me to put an animal to a slaughterhouse for something that I don't need, whether that's food, clothing, or even entertainment, I would say that's cruel for me to act this
Mhm.
way.
Yeah, and I think, and that's what I was also kind of just about to say is I think we do disagree on that definition of sentient, and for me at least, the Bible is clear not to abuse animals. It even has a law in the Old Testament that says, "Do not muzzle the ox while he treads out the grain," meaning as you're plowing, as you're getting all of your grain, you are to allow the ox his share of that work. You're even to give him the opportunity to eat while he works. And that was considered sinful to not even allow the oxen to be able to enjoy that.
But these days, how
Um,
can we justify what we do to animals?
Yeah.
Because that's not.
Oh,
there's
and I don't
abuse
think everyone
100%.
treats animals correctly, just like I don't think everyone treats people
Nobody
correctly.
treats animals correctly.
And that's where you and I slightly disagree in that I think it is okay to kill a cow. Do I think it's
At
okay
the
to
fraction
kill?
of their lifespan.
Yeah, and that like I disagree with veal. I do not eat veal. Veal is
Do
horribly
you
manufactured.
eat dairy products?
I don't actually know. I
cheese,
actually
milk?
No, I actually can't eat those. I am actually very mildly allergic to them. So actually, in my daily life, I
Oh. So
don't
it's
eat
not
those.
by choice. It's by.
Well, those ones aren't by choice,
Yeah.
but veal is not by choice.
But for example, would you say?
Yeah.
Would you say is there a problem? For like, if you didn't
Mhm.
have this, would you
Yeah.
see it as a problem to consume them?
Considering where I get my food from, no, because I get it from farmer friends whose cows actually live a beautiful
My
life.
grandma was a farmer. I know exactly what they go through. They still
No,
get
no.
forcefully inseminated. They still have their babies killed.
No, and that's what
Veal
I'm
is
saying.
only a thing because of dairy products.
Oh, and that's what I was about to say, is my friends don't have that. They actually don't forcefully inseminate.
They still kill them at a fraction of their lifespan. They still take the babies away so that they can take their milk. Like my grandma did that. The baby would come, they would
Mhm.
drink some of the milk for 10 minutes, and then they would push them away with a stick because the milk has to go for human consumption. They can't just drink all the milk.
Yeah, and there's actually other humane ways of doing that as well that my friends follow. They actually let the baby drink
But
first.
none of it is humane.
No,
it's all
because they let the
enslavement.
no, because they let the baby drink first, and then they take the excess. And there's actually a big difference within that, and that's
I don't
why.
believe that.
And that's okay if you don't believe me.
I don't believe you.
But,
no.
but they do that.
But either
because
way,
they
they
don't
still
do it
kill
for
the
mass
babies.
production.
If the baby is born male, they don't produce any milk. So they don't. They, in order for them to keep them alive, it would be an immense cost. They live 25 years. They get killed at 1 or 2 years old for meat, and at
Mhm.
6 years old for dairy because they can no longer impregnate them after 6 years.
Mhm, yeah.
Nobody will keep them alive 4 times more, right?
Totally.
Until they die and then eat them. So they still are killed at a fraction of their
Mhm.
lifespan. So that is still. Why is that not considered in any of your religious or whatever it
Mhm.
is considerations, why is that not abusive or bad?
Because they're not sentient by our definition.
Well,
In
but
that-
they do have preferences. They have all of the things
Mhm.
that all the qualities that we decided that the same reason why it would be wrong to harm a human.
We didn't decide those on the same reason to harm a human.
Why is it wrong to harm a human?
Because they are made in the image of God.
Aside, so if my God is not made in the image of a human, it would be okay to harm a human.
Well, my God is not made in the image of human.
Yeah, so we
Humans
have
are
different
made.
gods.
Humans are made in. But I'm basing this off of my beliefs and my morality, and my morality is based upon an unchanging, eternal Creator.
So your morality says that your morality, not mine.
Mhm.
Your morality says that it's okay for me to kill a human
No.
because my God is in the image of an animal. But it's your morality. Your morality says it's okay for
Yeah.
people to kill other individuals
Mhm.
as long as their God is different than the image of the,
I'm
the
not
person
saying
that
what's
they're
okay
killing.
for other people to do. I'm saying what's not okay for me to do. I'm not. I believe that I am saved by the one true Creator. I believe that Jesus Christ has saved me, and I do believe in that. And because I believe in one God and one
But
faith
there's a
and
lot
one
of
religion.
inconsistencies in your belief. You realize that, right? Like
I
there's
don't
some
see 'em,
logical
no.
inconsistencies
Like what?
because, like as I explained just now,
Mhm.
right? Like you say it's wrong to harm humans because they're born in the image of God.
Yeah.
But that's your God, and you say
Yeah.
it's wrong for you to harm humans. It's wrong for somebody to harm another person. Is it like? Let me ask you this: There's
Every
not
single
you,
human. No,
not you.
every
There's
single
person
human.
A,
Yeah.
person A, somebody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
trying to harm not your friend, but
Yeah.
somebody else, person B, right?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to harm them?
Yeah.
According to your morals?
Yeah.
Because they're born in the image of your God.
Yeah.
But according to my own morals, my God is different, right?
Mhm.
So then it should be that
Mhm.
you should respect my morals and say that it's okay for me to kill them.
So, and that's where I disagree because I believe in just as you're fighting for animals' rights, I would fight for those people's rights because according to my faith and my belief, every human being, whether they agree with me or not,
So therefore,
is made in the image of God and is deserving of respect.
but there, and we got to the crux of it because that means that our morality, our own
Mhm.
subjective morality, and our
Mhm.
own interpretation of whatever religion we are following,
Yeah.
should not dictate whether we harm an innocent being or not.
Correct, but you have to define innocent being, and by my faith and my religion, an animal
going in
is,
circles.
and I agree, and that's what the point I was trying to make at the beginning.
I just
is,
feel like these are justifications because if you probably like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen what they go through, what animals go through?
Yeah, I have.
So-
I have seen those videos,
Yeah.
and that's why I don't buy beef from any of that. And
From many of that, but from some. You go to
No.
restaurant? Do you eat meat at restaurants?
I rarely. I'm kind of too poor to go to restaurants, so I very rarely go to restaurants. Actually.
So there you go. When you go, you
Yeah.
support it. The thing that you say you're against.
Yeah, because I'm not perfect, and there's still going to be instances in which I don't.
I'm
and
not perfect. Sometimes I'll kill a person. I'm not perfect. It is what
And
it is. When there's
yeah.
victims involved, we cannot say I'm not perfect and go about our day, right? We
And
have a
that's-
responsibility.
and that's
to
where we
not-
disagree,
Yeah,
though.
okay,
Is
but like I understand what you're saying, but then you shouldn't be using phones either because the things that are in your phone are very, very.
I shouldn't be using phone. You're right. Hence why I haven't bought a new phone since 5 years now.
Well, but you still have a phone.
And
you
I
still
regret
have-
doing it. You still have it, and I'm not here to judge what you have done in the past. I'm here to tell you that you can change. Not to judge what you've done in the past. This isn't you throwing shade on me for being a piece of shit. I might be a piece of shit, but the message stays the same.
You're not a piece of shit.
But it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't matter because the message is the same. Animals deserve rights.
and that's what I was about to say is because we disagree on the fundamental understanding of what would classify, like in essence, a sentient being using those words, we wouldn't be able to come to the same conclusion because we define that differently
But no,
based
no, no.
upon
But
our
animals are sentient because of declaration of sentience, which is established science. I understand you're a biologist, but like we cannot appeal to authority. You're a biologist, and clearly you're wrong about these animals not being sentient, right?
No. And I was saying I only brought that fact up
Yeah.
so that I could ask you about the controls and about the research that was
I
done
understand.
on that. And I would actually happily read the studies that you say.
Cambridge
Yeah.
Declaration of Consciousness,
Yeah,
New York Declaration.
I don't have
of
data, so I
Consciousness.
can't. I
Yeah,
can't. do it.
I would love
Yeah.
to show you, but my phone is there. Like
Yeah.
she can Google it if she wants, but there's a Cambridge Declaration of Science and of Science, Sentience, and New York Declaration of Sentience.
Yeah.
I believe what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're feeling animals. They I don't think any of them deserve to be exploited and killed for something that we don't need. And
No, to talk to him.
yeah, and our options are always between exploiting and
Yeah.
killing an animal or not. And I just don't see how can we ever justify killing them when we can choose not to. That's my point. Like this
Yeah.
isn't about being perfect or not being
No,
perfect.
I
This is
agree.
about acknowledging that we always have these two options. Like whereas with the phone I don't have two options, right? I don't have an option to communicate with my family who lives in Romania, with my sister who lives in the United States without having a phone. I don't have an option without being a software engineer, without using a phone. If there is an ethical version of a phone and a non-ethical version of a phone, and I choose a non-ethical version of a phone, then I'm a piece of shit. But if there are two options there's always if there's these particular options available, then I will always choose the one that's ethical, right? Or more ethical, or however we want to put it. And when it comes to food or clothing or anything else, we always have an option whether we kill an animal or exploit an animal or not. We always have
And
that option.
I would say it's horrible to exploit an animal, but our definition of exploitation of an animal is
Using
different.
them for something that we get from them, and when they no longer give it, like milk, when they can no longer give milk for whatever reason, either we don't impregnate them or they don't give enough milk and we kill them, I would say that's textbook exploitation. Keeping them only for us and not for what they want to do is textbook exploitation. Feeding them what we think is best for them and not what they want to eat is textbook exploitation.
Well, I don't think that that's a great example, because if given the opportunity, a dog or a pig will eat itself to death. And we've seen that in many examples. We've seen that. So I think the feeding one wasn't a great example, but I think that also just allowing anybody or anything to do just whatever pleases them is not a great thing, and
I
leads
strive for.
to,
I believe in freedom. I don't know.
yeah, I believe in
I
freedom
believe
as
in
well.
freedom and consent. I
But-
wouldn't.
Yeah,
I think.
but consent is key. So if you believe in consent, it means that not everyone can do just simply whatever pleases them. Because
Exactly.
if right?
Exactly,
So you
yeah, you're
can't
right.
let everybody do what
No,
just
no, no.
pleases
You're
them.
right.
Same
You're
with
right.
animals.
Up to the. But the same with animals. Like animals don't consent to being
I
used
don't
as,
think that
as
they would
products.
be capable of being consent.
Well, they
Like,
cannot. So just because somebody cannot consent doesn't mean we can use them, right? Like if there's a person who is intellectually challenged and cannot consent, it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I get to use them however I want.
No.
Therefore, why would I apply this logic to an animal? They can't consent, therefore I will use them however I
and
want.
that goes back to my original statement. That
because
it's because
they're
I
built in the
believe
image
that
of God.
correct.
Yes, but it's,
And that's-
it's
and
just,
that's
this
why
is
we
just sounds
won't
like a
agree.
justification, right, to me?
Yeah.
Because like, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, can I ask you personal questions?
Go for it.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my big shot. Are you for slavery?
No.
Do you know that in the Bible there's a specific passage? I don't have it on me, but maybe Chase, because Chase gave me this. Chase, can you please tell me exactly which passage it is, where
Yeah.
it literally says that you shall go and enslave people that are not part of the same land as you, that are part of a different land.
And this is not me justifying it. This is something that I actually wrestled with a lot as a Christian and everything like that, is looking into that in the Bible as well. And if we, yes, God said that.
Leviticus 25, 44, 46.
Yeah, absolutely. So enslavement was allowed. But if we look at the rules for enslavement, I would actually kind of happily be enslaved in the biblical times if they were to treat their slaves as
is a-
God. No, it's not. If they were to treat their slaves as
So you
God
would give
called
up-
them to treat.
So you would give up your freedom, but that's still consensual, right? Imagine there's no consent in that. It doesn't say take slaves whoever wants to be a slave. It says take slaves because you can.
Well, it doesn't say just simply take slaves because you can.
It says take slaves.
But it says you can have a slave. He does not immediately say there is no slavery. He does not immediately rip that out of people's hands.
But slavery literally implies a lack of consent, right? Me
Well,
being
no,
employed is not
actually-
me being a slave.
No, actually, there are
Slavery
examples in the Bible itself where people were allowed to put themselves into slavery.
But okay, that's one example of it. There's literally examples where it says that your women will be used and shall be raped because if they're not virgin before marriage. There's
No,
so many.
it doesn't say that. A lot of
Chase,
I know what you're looking for because everyone loves to bring that one up.
No, there's like I have like 12 of these. Like literally, I have a whole document, and like you seem like a smart person, and like of course I'm not here to challenge your belief system because
No,
I don't care
no,
about that.
I don't think you
I'm
are.
just trying to tell you that we cannot use our belief systems and all of this to justify horrific things that we do to animals, and whether you think
Yeah.
they're horrific or not, it kind of seems to me like you're justifying whether it's horrific or not based on religion by saying they're not in the image of God, therefore it's not horrific. But literally cutting their throat, innocent beings who literally just want to live. They're beautiful beings who like if you throw a ball to a cow, they play fetch, they bring it back. They want to play, they want to live. They're individuals who don't want to be used as food. Like we just derive that.
And that's where we disagree. Is sorry, what time is it? We have to go back home.
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
conversation.
it
I
has.
get it, yeah.
It's 4:30. Okay, we actually have to leave right away. I'm not running away.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
Yeah, she's in Amsterdam for the last day, so we do have to.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. I get it. We've been
But
discussing
yeah,
this,
I would just say that that again, and this is why it feels like we're coming in circles because we disagree on that fundamental definition where I don't, because based off of my beliefs, we all have to base things off of our beliefs. We just have to decide where those come from.
Morality is subjective. I'm not debating that, but I just
And
believe
no,
that.
and so that's what I'm saying. You saying that, me saying that animals, it's okay to eat them, based off of my religious beliefs. I base my life off of my religious beliefs. So for me to remain
But
consistent as a
others
Christian,
shouldn't suffer because of your religious beliefs. That's what
but
my
I don't
point is.
consider them an other. I consider them alive, but I don't consider them an other.
But that's still your own subjective thing, right? You don't
Mhm.
consider them another. It's your subjective thing.
Yeah.
Me, if I weren't to consider women another, it wouldn't justify me doing whatever I want to women because I don't consider them other.
Well, I would disagree with
Animals
it.
have inherent value, intrinsic value,
Mhm.
just because of their own intrinsic value. Just like you have intrinsic value because of your own intrinsic value, because
Mhm.
you desire to live, because you desire to live your
Mhm.
life.
Yeah, and I would say that we, like, intrinsic value is true, but not everything has the same value. A tree has
Extrinsic value is not the same. Just like
No.
you have almost zero value to me, and I'm sorry, I'm not meaning you in this way, but like
No, I
my
don't think
family,
that's that, yeah.
because you're a stranger to me, right?
Totally.
Like, but my family has extrinsic value, much extrinsic value to me, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that just because you have zero value to me that I get to do whatever I want to you. So
Mhm.
I acknowledge that you have intrinsic value, therefore I will not do anything to you because of your intrinsic value. Same
Mhm.
reason to animals. They have
Yeah.
intrinsic value. Then there's
Yeah.
no reason, even if you don't value them at all, there's no reason to harm them when you can choose otherwise.
Well, I'm not saying to harm them. And once again, that because our definition of what can be done or to animals is different because of based upon our underlying belief system of viewing the world. And I would say that that's probably why we wouldn't come to an agreement is because we have that different underlying belief system of how to view the world and how to
That's okay.
proceed about our day-to-day.
Can I
Yeah.
recommend something for you? So there's the Declaration of Consciousness, which you should watch,
Yeah.
which you should read. Christspiracy, do you know about it?
Christspiracy?
Christspiracy.
No, I actually haven't heard that one.
It's a documentary. I would say don't take everything they say there because you're a science person. I'm a science-focused
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, you said you're an engineer, so
yeah, exactly. There are certain things there which are kind of iffy, but overall the story is great.
Mhm. What's it
And
about, sorry?
It's about Jesus Christ,
Mhm.
and it's about how Jesus Christ was actually vegan, and because they make a lot of good arguments there, and I just encourage you to watch it just for the sole sake
Mhm.
of kind of what it is that you're supporting and kind of how the reality is that maybe Jesus really did stand also for animals when he stood and said that we should not do that. And I know that the Bible was written by King James, right? So
No, the Bible was not written by
sorry,
King
I don't know.
James.
I'm sorry, my history is very bad. I know the Bible was written by somebody in the year 50 or something, but like
Well, no.
it wasn't written during the time of Jesus Christ. It was written way after.
No,
and
it
then
was written during the time of Jesus
it
Christ.
wasn't. It was written
was, yeah.
afterwards. And the deciding factor whether Jesus was a god or not was decided on the year 100, which is 100 years after Jesus died. But regardless of all that, like I'm not like I'm an anti-theist, but I don't push my views on others because I don't care
Yeah.
about what people believe. I only care that when people make choices that they don't exploit and abuse others, that they don't make choices that harm others, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I would say, like, I definitely disagree with a lot of things that you said about Christianity, but like you said, we disagree on
That's
those
okay, we
points,
can
and we're not going
disagree,
to change
yeah.
each other's mind on
give
that
give
right
Conspiracy a watch, and you have several other resources, Dominion, and the most important speeches over here are things that you might enjoy watching. And
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah,
with
you're
you.
very respectable guy, so
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Same. Have a good day, and
Yeah, you too.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Hi, you want to try the social experiment?
Yeah, just tell me what's it about.
Are you okay being live on YouTube, my YouTube channel?
What?
Are you okay being live on my
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
channel?
of course, no
Okay,
problem.
so it says animal abuse should be legal.
Animal abuse should be legal. How is that supposed to be legal?
Do you agree?
No,
Why not?
because it's abuse in any kind. Not doesn't make sense at all.
How would you-
Same as abusing the child or something like that.
Oh, so animals are kind of like children. There's no.
Well, if you adopt or buy an animal, it's like your child. It's like your family member or something like that.
What if the animal doesn't belong to anybody or they are just on their own? Would it be okay to abuse them?
Like street dogs and well, I think not. I think every city should take care of those kind of
Okay. So it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs?
both.
What about?
Any kind of animal?
Okay, so cows, chickens, pigs.
Yes, of course.
Do you think there's some abuse happening behind animal products?
Animal products.
Yeah.
Well, if you mean
Like cheese, milk, eggs, meat. Do you
Well,
think
it-
animals are abused for these?
no, I think it's not abusing because it's domestic animals and they are I mean, you feed them to get food from them.
So if I feed a dog to beat them to death, to get exercise from beating them to death, wouldn't that still be abusive?
Yes, it would be abusive.
So why was that different if I do it to a cow for food?
Well, it's not abusing. You're not beating cow. You're taking
I'm
her-
slashing their throat, right? So if I do that to a dog to exercise my throat cutting skills, and I cut the throat of a dog, is that abusive?
Yes, but
I have a purpose.
It's not same because the cow is meant to take.
That dog is also meant because I literally raised them for that. So they're meant for that, for me to cut their throat.
In that case, I don't know what to say.
Is it abusive?
I think it is because.
So why is it not different if I do the same to a cow?
Because they're different kind of animals.
So abuse is only defined by the victim of abuse. If the victim of abuse is of a different species, it's no longer abuse. If I kick a dog, it's abuse. If I kick a cow, it's not abuse.
Kicking is, but
But putting a knife to their throat isn't.
well, if when you say like that, it is abusive. But
It is, yeah.
Cow should be.
But that's the reality. I know it sounds harsh, but the reality is that's what they're going through. The reality is they do.
I know, but I think that dog looks at you like a friend.
So does a cow, man. Cows look at
I
farmers.
never had a cow.
Farmers
never,
cry when they send them to the slaughter. Farmers feel
in
very
my
bad
home
about them.
country, not.
Where are you
here.
from?
Serbia.
I'm from Romania, so I know what you mean.
My bro.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But listen, they still. I saw my grandma do it. It's they cry when they have to kill them. It's
I know,
not
but
nice.
my roommate also he had 2 pigs and they were meant to be slaughtered one day to.
But do you
produce
think that's
food.
fair from their perspective? Do you think if somebody raises you for the sole purpose of killing you is fair?
Well, in a way, yes, in some kind of way, because
So if your parents
okay.
raised you right now to enslave you and kill you, would that be okay?
Well, no, because I'm their child. Same as a cow wouldn't kill hurt her
But
child.
who cares about their relationship? At the end of the day, you're saying if you bring somebody to life, you can do whatever you want to them because you brought them to life.
You didn't bring the cow to life.
What do you mean cows? Farmers forcefully impregnate cows. That's why. That's how
You
cows
only-
are.
you
All
only-
animals
you
in
only
animal
raise-
agriculture. All animals in animal agriculture are brought to life because of humans. All of them are forcefully impregnated. All of them are brought to life only so that we can use them and kill them when we no longer can use them.
Yeah, but they are meant to feed us.
So the same can be said about any other person in this world. If I instinctively bring a person to life only to use them as slave or whatever it is that I want to use them, and when I can no longer use them, kill them,
No, not
how would that be fair towards them?
It wouldn't be fair because you can't compare a child with cow.
I can compare a child to a cow because they both intellectually are the same, because they're both sentient, because they both have emotions, they have a subjective experience of the world, and because they both want to live. So I can compare them in that way. So the reason why it would be bad to harm a child is the same reason why it would be bad to harm a cow, because they both want to live and none of them want to be harmed. And given that I have options to not harm a cow, why would I ever choose to? Given that I have options to not harm a child, why would I ever choose to?
I don't know. I mean, as I said, cows are meant to be to raise them and one day kill them and have food.
That's
for
what we
them.
said about black people
that's,
during slavery.
No,
Did that
that's
make it right?
surviving. No, black people in slavery is whole another thing.
But that's what they said.
This
These
one-
people are brought to life to be slaves. That's what they said.
Okay, all the way from the history, men hunted and killed, but they didn't hunt their child.
I'm not saying as children. Like literally, how the way we farm animals, we did that to black people. We had to only to enslave them and use them. Why is that different? If we do it to animals, it's somehow different.
It's different because that's surviving.
No.
Having
no,
a
no.
slave is not surviving.
Well, this isn't surviving
That's
also, because
true.
we can survive and thrive without doing this to animals. We can choose plant-based diets. We can choose clothing that
Yes,
doesn't
but
use animal
man-
skin.
Man is not supposed to eat only plants.
Who says that? Our digestive system would disagree. Our digestive system is built to digest plants way faster and better.
I don't know biology so good,
Yeah.
but you have animals that eat only plants, like cows, and then you have animals that eat meat for surviving. For
But
their
we were omnivores. We
can eat both. I
we
know.
can eat both, and we
Yeah,
can
I know.
thrive on eating just plants. So why would we ever choose to harm
But
an
if you
animal?
go with that perspective, you're killing plant also.
But plants are not sentient. They don't have emotions. They don't have a subjective experience of the world.
But they are living bees.
But they're not. It doesn't matter. They're not sentient. They don't have emotions.
So
even let's say even if you
How
let's
can you know that
even
cow
if
has
even if you
mood?
think that, let's say even if you think they're sentient, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you're killing an animal, you're also killing all the plants that that animal ate. So you would still be killing less lives, as you said, if you consume a plant-based diet.
but you can't measure life.
But you can measure the number of lives that you kill. Would you rather kill 100 lives or 10 lives?
How you mean 10 lives?
So there you go. So why would you ever choose to kill 100 lives?
I don't understand the question because
When you
also
eat an
if
animal, you kill 100
kill-
lives. You kill
Yeah.
90 plants and 10 animals. When you kill 10 animals, you just kill 10. Sorry, when you kill 10 animals, you kill 10 animals and 90 more plants. So you kill 100 plants. You kill 100 lives. When you kill 10 plants, you just kill 10 plants. So how can you justify killing 100 lives versus 10 lives?
Well, I honestly mean that people should eat meat in any way. So killing a cow is
Yeah, people should eat people's meat.
because that's a little bit sick.
People should eat meat from individuals that they can consent. If somebody consents to being eaten, then they should be allowed to be killed and eaten. An animal cannot consent. They cannot say, "Yes, I want to be killed for you." Therefore, why should you ever be allowed the choice to kill them?
Yes, but yet again, you feed that animal all your life.
So if there's somebody more intelligent than you who can dominate you, who can raise you to do whatever you want, says, "Hey, I raised you to be my slave and to kill you," would that be fair towards you?
It wouldn't, but if he's more intelligent than me, I can't do anything about it.
No, but it wouldn't be fair. That's not the point. Of course, neither
It's not
can these
fair.
animals.
I don't say it's fair, but
So
that's
how?
life.
So it's
That's
not
life.
fair also for the animals.
But that's life. That's my
It's
life.
not
that's,
life.
That's the cow's life.
No,
Yes, it is.
because you can choose to not put animals in the slaughterhouse. Imagine the oppressor, the one who's smarter than you, saying, "That's life. I have to enslave you. That's your life. That's my life."
Yeah,
No,
but-
because somebody has a choice. The reason why these animals are enslaved and killed is because you make that choice. It's not that they're enslaved and killed anyway. They're enslaved and killed because you and other people make these choices. Otherwise, they
But
wouldn't
yet
be.
again, also, as I told you, I feed the cow, I grow it, and at the end of the day, I feed it to survive.
No, you don't do it to survive. You can survive and thrive on plants. Don't say you do it to survive. You have readily available options where you don't have to kill and exploit an innocent animal.
Yeah,
Where
but
you do it
honestly, I
because
don't
you
think
want.
For me personally, I don't think I could live only on plants.
Well, you're not. You're human, right?
Yeah.
You have the same biology as humans.
Yes.
So you can survive and thrive on plant-based diets.
Yes, I don't know, but for me personally,
That's what science says.
Okay. What to do about that? I don't want to eat only plants. I will eat meat. And
Yeah. So you do it because you want. You see.
Yeah.
So we got to the crux. So you're saying, do you think you can maintain your status of being against animal abuse while at the same time you pay for animal abuse because you want it? You want the product that comes out of animal abuse?
No, because I told you, I don't think that it's same to abuse a cow. I mean, abuse to, as you said, to cut her throat, and to abuse or kick a dog, because a dog. dog
Like
is
again,
more-
like if you put a knife to the throat of, depending on what you do it. If you put a knife to the throat of a dog, it's abuse. If you put a knife to the throat of a cow, it's not. So that's logical consistency in your book.
Yes. Yes.
But you do see that it's not logically consistent, right?
In one way, it is.
What way is it logically consistent?
As I told you, you feed the cow in order.
Where's
to,
the logical consistency coming from?
You feed the cow in order.
I feed
to
the dog
eat.
in order to eat them.
But if you want to eat the dog, that's not really good.
Why? It's the same.
Because it's dog meat.
So what?
Did you ever try it?
I don't care.
I don't know. I couldn't kill a dog, but for cow, I don't know. Never been in that situation.
But you acknowledge that there's no logical consistency in your argument.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to say it in that way.
It's not that I want to say it. It's just that you
Yeah,
say
but
it.
in one way, there is a logical consistency, as you say.
What the way is that?
Because all the way through history,
That's not the logical consistency. Throughout history, we enslaved people for the difference in their color. There was no logical consistency in doing that. What you're saying now is this thing is abuse because of they're born in a different species. A cow doesn't choose to be born a cow. A dog doesn't choose to be born a dog. Yet if you're born a dog, in your book, you're deserving of rights of being protected even. If you're born a cow, hell, you can do whatever you want to them. You can put a knife to their throat, fuck them if you want, take their babies, kill them, do whatever you want to them because you know what? You were born that species. How is that fair? How is that logically consistent?
it's not fair. Life is not fair.
So why do you
Life in general
do you
is
think
not fair if you want to go in
yeah,
that way.
but you're the
Because
person who's contributing
also
to making
in
life
that way,
unfair.
when you look at like that, you have people that were born pretty rich, and you have poor people. It's not fair.
It's not fair that some of
They're
them
not-
have
they-
better opportunities, right?
They don't have same position when they
But
were
you
born. and
perpetuate the
all-
same.
all
But
the
you
way through
perpetuate.
life.
You make life unfair by paying for this. It's not that life is unfair. It's that you make it unfair for these animals. You make it life unfair for them. It's not that life is unfair for them inherently. You make it unfair.
Yeah, but you can't.
You can choose to not make it
You
unfair.
can't compare a cow and a human being.
I compare the cow to a dog. It's unfair. You said it's unfair that they get treated differently, but it's not. It's unfair that they get treated differently. You make it unfair because you treat them differently.
So I'm the bad guy here.
I didn't say that. I just said you are not logically consistent. You realize that.
Well, I realize, but that's life yet again. As we said, it's unfair.
You are unfair. Not it's unfair. You are unfair.
Also, I can say the God is unfair because I was born not.
You can
not
say
so rich.
anybody else is unfair, but you have to acknowledge that you are not fair towards these animals.
Yeah, I know I'm not fair.
Yeah.
In general, life.
Yeah, but why not choose to be fair, man? Like I mean, let's bring it back a little bit because
Because I like to eat meat.
Yeah, but
And I don't like to eat dog.
if I like having sex, it does just if I like having sex, it doesn't justify me abusing women, does it?
Yeah,
It doesn't justify me using women however I want, right?
It's the human being things that you can't compare.
You can't take your likes and put them above somebody else's life. You can't
I
say
know.
because I like it, I can do whatever I want with them.
I would have to go.
Okay, please reflect on your options. I'll just give you a fist bump, okay? Please reflect on your options and don't allow for this to happen. Okay, everybody, I'm very cold. My feet are frozen. The conversations were very long. I hope everybody has enjoyed these conversations. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're having conversations here. Like and subscribe. Yeah, I don't know if you enjoyed the conversations. The conversation with the girl who was scientist and Christian, but she didn't know about the Declaration of Consciousness, and she didn't think animals are sentient. Weird. And this conversation where I just wanted to be clear with the people, and I think I was pretty direct and clear, right? That was pretty good, huh? That was pretty good with the not that life is unfair. I actually like that. I'm going to use that more often. Not life is unfair, you are unfair, because that's what they do. That's what people do, you know. They say that's what they go in their head and they say, you know what? Yeah, but it's unfair, you know. It's not. It's what can you do? No. You are unfair. It's you. It's not life. It's you. There were a lot of other people waiting in line, but once they heard the conversation that we did speak about animals, they left. That has happened throughout the day. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for being here. A vegan animal defender says sentient capacity of having a subjective experience. Yeah, that's what I said also, vegan animal defender in that. Thank you everybody for being here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't let that happen. I'm a bit frozen right now. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. I want to thank everybody for being here. Even if you're not subscribed, even if you're not vegan, if you're vegan, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here in the chat. Nick, oh my God. Like versus you're an unfair. Great framing. Thank you so much, Nick. What's the temperature there? Asks Raiki Shore Behira. I have no clue, to be honest. I would say it's probably like 6 degrees, but it feels like 2, something like that. Be clear, sentient. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, VA, you did a good message, VA. I saw that a little bit of it, and there was a great point. What's your favorite meat? Beef for me, says Knockout. Knockout, my favorite meat is from humans who consent. I love eating the meat of humans who consent. Or plants, you know, because they're not sentient. Chip, be clear, sentience and consciousness in the animal right, non-slavery context is binary. That's a very, very good point. Thank you so much, everybody, again for being here. Haha, you clowns crack me up, says Knockout. Yeah, Knockout. If you haven't heard the conversations, Knockout, please go a little bit back and hear the conversations, because we've already discussed this. And God bless the meat eaters, Knockout. I mean, if your God blesses people who abuse animals, then I feel sorry for you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the conversations. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Even if you're not vegan, subscribe. You might enjoy the conversations anyway. And hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live. I want to thank for everybody who's been here. I want to thank the moderators in the chat. It's been especially helpful. I want to thank, you know, all of the vegans for being here, and everybody who donated. I truly do appreciate it. Vegan Animal Defenders asks, would you find it acceptable if someone used their God as a justification to objectify and enslave you? Yeah, I mean, I try to frame it in that way, right? Like, I guess you're framing it in a different way. I try to frame it kind of in the same place. Thank you so much for being here. Please, no more exploitation of animals. Please speak up for animals if you're vegan. And if you're not vegan, go vegan. Stop it. Stop exploiting animals. There's no reason. You always have the option between exploiting and not exploiting an animal. Robin Hood stats. Somebody timed you out. I'm sorry about that, Robin Hood stat. I don't know why somebody would time you out. Choose empathy and efficacy rather than murder of innocent animals. That's exactly good. Go vegan, says the LTN. Reality is it's quite easy, everybody. You just have choices everywhere. You just gotta open your eyes and notice the choices. And then you just gotta ask yourself, is it really that my should it even be a choice? That's the reality, right? But before you even get there, you gotta ask yourself, how could I justify choosing for an innocent animal to die for me, to be exploited for me, when I could easily just choose something else, right? Sicilian Jiu-Jitsu asks why vegan. Exactly that, why I just said. Because why would you ever choose for an innocent sentient being to be exploited and slaughtered for you when you can choose otherwise? That's why. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And if you're just new to the channel, subscribe. Maybe you'll enjoy the next conversations, or go back in time and watch the rest. I appreciate everybody for being here, and live vegan. No more. I'll do the spot. My feet are I can't do it because my fingers are a little bit frozen. So subscribe, like, do all that beautiful thing, and go vegan. No more animals, okay, for you this year. Greater Gamer, $5. Guys, thank you so much for the, I think that's a super smiley, I forgot the name of it, but thank you so much for it. Thank you for the donations, thank you for everything, and live long and prosper, right? Oh, there you go, I do it. Live long and prosper. Live long and stop exploiting animals. That's what we'll say, okay? No more animal exploitation, everybody. Bye-bye.